Oh, again, the pot's down. Professionalism to its max. Ready? Here we go.
You're listening to the Level Best Network.
Got this fancy new board and can't do anything with it. Here we go. This is the INTERCOT Insider Live, episode 163. Now in stereo.
In color.
The INTERCOT now in color. That would have been even better.
Live and in color.
Hold on, wait. Let me do that again. All right, ready? We'll do
Wait,
this
aren't
again.
we live?
We are live, but it's okay.
We'll edit this out.
We're building our audience right now. Like
Yeah,
people are catching up.
true,
Here we go.
yeah.
Ready?
You're listening to the Level Best Network.
This is the INTERCOT Insider Live, episode 163. Now in color. The INTERCOT Insider Live is brought to you by Magical Journeys, the Disney vacation experts, and our partner for most of our 25 years online. Give them a call and check out what they have to offer. They'll guide you through the Disney vacation planning process and do it well for you. They're great. We love them. You'll love them. Give them a shot. Email is usually a good way to contact them, or their contact form on their website, Facebook, whatever, smoke signal, all of the above. Hi there, everybody. This is John. I am here with some friends this evening. We'll first go to the ones you know and love, which would be Ian Mitchell. Ian, hello.
Oh, I definitely did not expect to come in after Know and Love.
Yeah, that's true. Good
Oh,
point.
maybe. Thought you were going to Carolyn.
Should have
Sorry.
gone to Carolyn.
Hey, John, how you doing?
That's true. Good.
Nice to be loved.
It is good to be loved. Ian from the burbs of Orlando and Lake Buena Vista out there.
Yes, sir.
From north of the border, we have Carolyn flying the Canadian flag and a representative as one half of the nation of Canada.
Yes. Hi, boys. How are you?
Look at you with your fancy backdrops tonight.
I am at the
In the treehouse?
Family
Where are you?
Robinson. Yes. With Family Robinson.
Yeah, little
that's nice.
Adventureland action going there.
Yeah.
And not to be outdone, there is our guest, Sam from Sam's Disney Diary, from the Berg, Pittsburgh, or thereof.
Around there. What's up, guys? Thanks
Yeah,
for having me. What's happening?
His background, on the other hand, is
Not,
real.
it's not fake.
That is not fake.
That is not fake.
What an impressive collection. Look at you back there.
I know.
It's
a heck of a man
Every once in
cave.
a while, I just come down here, especially after a day like today when I, got up early and went and had some fun and thought we're going to kick off the NFL season. And my team absolutely laid an egg. So we come back and play some games.
Well, the Eagles tried to.
We tried our best to lay an egg today. We really did. It was very, very. They were disappointed that they actually managed to win, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Ian and I are both from the burbs of Philadelphia originally.
Right.
And so, therefore, Eagles fans for life. Carolyn, who do you root for?
Yay, sports.
Okay.
I guess I have to say the Blue Jays and the Maple Leafs. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's, different sport, but that's good. With their-
Raptors. We don't have any NFL. I can say
know.
the Argos.
Well, I was just
CFL.
wondering
No,
if
I love
maybe
that
you,
Argos.
something close to Canada, whether you.
Well,
Yeah,
my
the Maple Leafs.
husband likes the Seahawks. And
There you go. Okay.
good friends of ours like the Detroit Lions. Is that
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, see, I thought most Canadians were good Lord, why am I drawing a complete blank? Bills fans, because they're so close to Buffalo. There's a
Well,
lot
if you
of
live in
Bills fans.
Toronto.
Well, that's where Carolyn lives.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Well, because there's no NFL teams, it's quite okay.
It's
to
just
like
wide open.
whoever you want.
You can go. Yeah, I think that's fair. It might be the only time when it's acceptable to just pick a team.
You
and
don't
go
have to
if
like
you
your
live in a-
home. Yeah.
This is true. So I got to ask Sam. Sam, what's the scoop with all the games back there? How many in total do you have?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't
That's
know?
how
I
you
have
know he's
many
got a lot.
as
He
this.
doesn't know.
I have as many as fit is what I have, and that's really what it's come down to. Because right now I'm to the point where I'd really love to get a good golden tee, but then I'd have to get rid of something, so I just leave it the way it is.
You could just
all
build an
good.
extension on the house. I mean,
I would need to.
a little bump out.
Those pinballs were a COVID project, so to get them all functioning properly and
Okay.
and LEDs across the board and some of that older stuff,
Right.
you got to play it. You know that, John. You have to play it. You got to so it
Right.
doesn't. The mechanics will get messed up and they'll get.
Yeah, you got to play them. You got to run them. You got to do stuff.
You have
I
to
like
use
that you have
They're
them
not
all.
made to just sit. They're made to be
No.
played.
I have 3 classic arcade games in my basement and one
Gotcha.
that's not so classic.
But that one behind you says Sam's Arcade. Is that one of those emulator-y
Yeah,
things?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That particular one
My
is.
husband has one in the basement here. That's got
that's
every
a
game.
coin ops game is what it's called if you do look into that. But it's pretty cool because it emulates just about anything. Arcade machines or an Atari 2600 or a ColecoVision or a television or
So pretty much somebody comes to your basement and says, I want to play XYZ. You go,
It's there
stand
somewhere,
by.
Yeah, I also have them listed by genre. So there's Star
There we
Wars
go.
games, and you see like different game on different consoles, what they look like, and Disney games are
neat.
listed. Even like the old, some of the older Mickey Mouse PlayStation things. It's kind of cool.
So I'm curious because I recently spent like $80. They came. I don't even remember the name of the company, and I wouldn't plug them anyway. But they came out with sort of a platform on like Xbox, and I think it's on PlayStation too. And it's like tagged. It's like 1,300 classic games. It's
Right.
from a series of consoles, 2,600 games, and a lot of arcade games. And I thought, well, that is just really cool. I'm going to try that. And I'm curious if anybody else was this way. I've noticed that when there's no quarter at stake, they're really kind of boring. Like the whole point back then, right, was like, to get as far as you could before your quarters ran out. But
Right.
When there's no quarter in play, it's a little
And you
dull.
have unlimited lives.
Yeah, like I was playing I can't think of the name of the game. It was a classic vertical, scrolling shooter. I don't remember what it's called. You would know it if I said the name. I just can't.
All right.
And like I remember vividly playing this game in the arcade and just being like absolutely enthralled by it. And then I'm like sitting there and I played like I restarted or whatever, continued like 14 times, and I'm like,
Sure.
well, this is just boring. Like I can just go on forever. There's no challenge.
I think
That's
there's a
why I
little
like
bit of that.
pinball, because pinball it's like a
There's
physical
real stakes.
It's like a real challenge. You only get so many balls. There's no continuity. But that's why I want to get a pinball machine.
There is a little bit of that, I think. But, I have a crane game. So,
there you go.
only get so many grabs of the claw.
All rigged. If you have one, it, especially if you get the instruction book, right, John? You know the whole thing is
well,
rigged.
they say you should set your claw tension to win 1 out of every 10 times.
And that's completely up to the house.
Yes,
Right.
it
1
is.
out of 10
So they can
times,
set
1
it
out
to
of
win
20 times.
1 out of 50 if
Absolutely.
they want to do it.
So
Absolutely.
wait, are you saying that the claw nine
no,
times
just-
times is very gentle?
No,
Exactly.
no.
But then on the 10th one, it's a good
No, it
grab?
doesn't suddenly just grab.
But
It's setting the tension to a level so that you should be able to win something on average 1 out of every 10 times. So in other words, if you grab it, it grabs it just right 1 out of every 10 times. So that's the right amount of looseness and the right amount of tension. And you kind of have to set it that way. Also knowing that if you wow, we are getting way inside baseball here.
we are, and we got
If you-
tons of things to talk about.
If you
I know.
operate a
The one night
crane
when there's a
game,
lot of Disney news.
understand that when you first put all the animals in and stuff, you can stuff and you can pack them. And until you break the pack, it's a lot harder to win.
Yeah, they're stuck.
And once the pack has been broken, it becomes easier to win. So anyway.
And why would you want a crane game at your house though? Because you could just reach in and have a stuffy anytime you want. Is it just the challenge?
Well, a little bit of that, but we won so many stuffed animals that the next
Need someplace
logical
to put 'em.
thing was to have something to put them in.
Okay, I get you.
Right? Sam
I
got me
just-
there.
Donated
then-
mine to children's hospitals.
And then the other thing was, you know what? Every kid that comes over to the house
yeah,
loves
They
playing
wanna
that
play.
game.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go. Yeah, there
And
you
they
go.
get to take home
That's
one
exactly
stuffed
right.
animal,
Yeah, that's nice. So there you go.
and the rest go back in the
You're giving back to the community.
right. Okay. So anyway,
Love it.
moving on.
Actually, that's kind of a segue because
Yeah.
Is it? Wait.
where else in Disney World did you used to be able to play games and win stuffies?
Yeah, it's true.
Wow, that is a great segue, actually, Karen. Very good. Well,
Where else?
Dinoland.
Dinoland, USA. Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
okay. So I've got it. So
At-
you want to
at
tell us?
There might
Chester
be
and
one or
Hester's
two windows in
Dino-Rama.
Dinoland.
So do we want to
I
address
have a
the
couple around here.
big elephant in the room with a lot of this stuff before?
No,
we
let's
even
go.
get too
Let's
far?
let's start out on a positive note.
Are we gonna?
turn brutally
Okay.
negative?
All right. Well, I won't then. All right.
There was a ton of stuff announced.
Yes.
Well, there actually was
ton was
nothing announced, but that's a different story. Go ahead.
There was.
There are a lot of
Okay,
stuff
so-
that they might do.
Well,
Okay.
go ahead, Carolyn.
Okay.
If you
So
want to do
yesterday
that. So
was Destination D, which
Right.
is like D23 but smaller.
uh-huh.
And so they made announcements, but as Ian says, nothing is in concrete because they didn't really give dates like for sure we're going to start breaking ground in February or anything like that.
On very few things did they.
Very few.
There were a few. There were a few
Um,
concrete dates, but
But one of the big things was this picture you can see on the screen, artist concept only.
or for those listening, go to our Facebook timeline and you'll be able to see these
Yeah.
pictures too, by the way.
And
okay.
what they're planning on doing, and again, no timeline, so we don't know when, but they're going to rip out Dinoland. And they said that two of the things that might end up in this area, which will apparently be rethemed to tropical Americas, which I'm guessing is just like South America and Central America.
Yeah, I think so. That's sort of how they explained it.
Yeah. And so there's gonna be Encanto stuff.
Is
and-
this the Encanto stuff that I'm showing on the
I-
screen?
I don't know. If you zoom back out,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
saying
trying
the
to.
left top corner. It looks to me more like
Or you're
Encanto.
thinking.
The house.
And it could be
Because
both,
that's
right?
the house from the movie.
That's the house.
Oh,
from the movie.
okay.
And if you watch the movie,
There you go.
we're trying to think of like, how does this tie into Animal Kingdom? Well, in the movie, it's a magical house that like when you open your bedroom door, there's like, it's a whole other world, can be whatever you want. And one of the kids in the movie, when he opens it up, it's like a big jungle and he has like all animal friends in there. So maybe it will be like, oh, we're going into, I think his name's Antonio. We're going into his room. So
And he can he talk to animals? I have not seen
Yes.
Encanto, so I'm a little
yes,
embarrassed. But
he
can
talk.
he can talk to the animals too. Right?
Yes. So, and that I'm pretty sure is set in Colombia. So that's South America.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's one of the things. Then, and before we get to the big thing, somebody I saw on Twitter, see down at the bottom, the thing that looks like a merry-go-round? Somebody said that has something to do with Coco. I don't know how they can tell that. It just looks
That can
like
be anything.
it
That
could be
anything.
a merry-go-round or bumper cars or a
or
teacup
a meet
thing.
and greet for somebody.
Or
It could be.
or more likely a gift shop.
Yes, it could be. So anyway, somebody had the idea of that. But the other big news is if you go to the top of the picture, what looks familiar up there?
Okay, well, let's just address like if we zoom out, and again, apologies for those listening, but there was a lot of visual stuff in this presentation.
There's a ton going on. Oh, and by the way, they already ripped out Dinoland. Let's
let's be honest. But this looks like the area that formerly was the food court, so maybe it's remains.
No,
kind
that's
of a
formally
food
the
court.
what?
That's
Dinosaur.
dinosaur.
See
I
how
think
it's
This
it's
got-
dinosaur.
no,
Yep.
I thought this is.
No,
if you
no,
look-
that
Nope.
because you can see the show building right there, John. That's the show building to your
I
right.
thought
there.
maybe there was a new show building.
No,
but this
no.
might be another show building.
No, that's dinosaur.
No,
because
that
it's right
would
on
be-
the right of that bridge.
Okay,
there.
explain then
Okay.
why this is right there. That is currently in Dinoland.
Yeah, they're just not going to take it out.
No,
That's like
but this is.
Restaurantosaurus or something.
You're
isn't it?
saying that's across the street. Okay, go to the
I'm saying, look,
open
and
the
then
picture
normally
wide.
it goes around the corner, and then up in here would be like where the dinosaur thing was. Am I the only one who thought this?
Wait, back
No,
out.
Go
like
back,
the-
go
like
back
the
to where
pool-
you were.
Okay. I'm going to
There's
do
a
that.
bridge down at the bottom.
Yeah, the bridge. Keep going to where the bridge is.
Okay,
That's
right
where
there.
you come into
Right, and to the
Dinoland.
right would be that the boneyard, what it used to be. Then you went around here, and the food area was right here.
Like
and then you
restaurant.
walk
Yeah, that's
right,
restaurant.
and then you
right
walked
there, yeah.
out and around over here, and dinosaur would be back here.
Well, you may be right, John. But you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe the show building for dinosaurs over there, because you do have that
It's
really long
back in
queue
there.
area.
It could be back in the fog.
Yeah,
So
it's
maybe
possible.
that's just it looks like a really big restaurant. I didn't think that place was
Either
might
that,
be.
or is it another ride?
Disney
Possibly.
does a great job of putting the fog, the smoke in
Yeah.
areas so
You're
that
right.
you can't exactly figure out where it is
Yeah.
because they might change all of these things.
Right.
What I
Well,
heard,
it should be fairly easy to figure out where this intersection
This
is.
would
though,
have
right?
been okay. This over here
Maybe.
would have been Dinorama, right? Where
Yes.
the Encanto thing is. And so that's what I'm saying. And this looks like the existing exit right here.
that's where the
to
dinosaur is.
Dinosaur, like the gift shop was
Yeah.
right there. And then this is Dinosaur.
And then to
Which
the
for-
left,
Right.
that building, the house is basically where Triceratops Spin used to be.
Like over here. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or Primeval
Yep.
World. I'm sorry. Wrong thing.
Yes.
Primeval World.
Right.
And maybe
And
the Triceratops is the thing that is under
this thing.
the tent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, but for anybody who's listening and not looking at this
You need to
picture that
really
we're
look at
scrolling
this
around,
picture, but- okay.
what we are pointing at is where the dinosaur ride is
Right.
this kind of temple with
Like
all
sort
the
of Mayan
steps,
temple.
sort of like,
sort of
like
thing.
a Mayan temple, kind of like the outside of the Mexico pavilion with all the steps.
So, look,
And it looks a
we-
lot like
Indy.
Indiana Jones.
What do you
Of
think,
course,
Sam?
We've been speculating. I've been speculating for a long time that Zootopia was coming to this area, right? A lot of people were.
Mhm.
That may still be coming to Animal Kingdom, but not here. And the speculation was because of an attraction that's getting installed in Tokyo, I believe, the new Zootopia land that looks exactly like the dinosaur ride cars. So we're thinking, okay, we're going to get that overlay. But now at this Destination D, we hear that's going to be Encanto and Indiana Jones. So right away, I'm going, the Indiana Jones Adventure at Disneyland is coming to Disney World. And if it is, I absolutely love it.
I do too. I just hope that it's like, if they can use the same cars and everything, but wouldn't it be nice if it was like not the Temple of the Forbidden Eye, but like some other thing? Like
I
a
agree.
different
And
story.
themed slightly differently.
Yeah,
and
like it's like now
yeah.
Indy's doing something else. And I put this
agree.
in our group chat today, but somebody said because if there's space for it, it's like in Africa, they have African animals at Animal Kingdom. In Asia, they have Asian animals. So if they had like South American or Central American, wouldn't it be funny if they had like a walkthrough attraction where it was all snakes and it was Indiana Jones voicing it, but sounding very squeamish?
I love that suggestion. I think that's really. I think that's really.
That
cute.
would be great. Go and see all
Yeah.
crazy kind of snakes. That would be a
Right.
great idea.
I'm hoping that they don't do a direct port of
Yeah, same.
Temple of the Forbidden
Same.
Eye. I mean, I think it's. I don't know. Does anybody know, Sam? This seems like something you would know. Does anybody know how similar the ride tracks are?
Exactly the same.
Yeah. So I mean,
Exactly. It is the same attraction. It's the same cars.
They
They're-
just put a different. That's
Look,
what
even at the
my
end, so
recollection was.
in Dinosaur, when you're at the end and you go down that thing and the bird's flying at you,
Bird-
that's where the rolling
That's
ball's
where the-
coming at you.
yeah,
from
yeah.
Indiana Jones. It's an
Okay,
exact duplicate.
But you know, maybe
And
it's
way
just because
better,
it's
by
in
the
the
way.
dark, by the way, Sam, but it
Yes.
doesn't feel as big on the inside.
Yeah,
It
There's
does
that-
because Dinosaur is designed to be dark and kind of jump
Right.
scares throughout
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Indiana Jones, when you go into the main area, it's lit up and it's wide open and you can see how big
Right.
the building is, and it's really
Yeah.
cool. That's
So-
what I love about that ride versus Dinosaur.
So I'm wondering if the building has the same scale, ceiling wise, and things like that, that they'll be able to pull
Maybe
that
they
kind of
just
thing
have
off,
to
or
knock
whether
out-
they'll have to
So we
Yeah.
need
Knock
some
out some
flash
walls.
pictures in there, is what you're saying.
Is what I am
a
saying.
little night vision photography.
Yeah, little
They,
intercut
well, I mean, it
recon.
could be the same ride track, but maybe there's walls that need to be knocked down to make
Yeah,
big
that's very
open
possible.
areas.
I mean,
Very
if I had to guess, and again, I don't know. I would
That's
be
all
shocked
this
if
is.
they
It's
didn't.
guessing.
I would be shocked if they didn't use the same, because if it's exactly the same ride track, it's highly likely they used the same architectural plans and just built the same building again.
Right, but
So
like,
my guess is the dimensions are the same.
but if it's gonna be a animal kingdom,
Right.
maybe it could be themed to some. He's looking for some
Like
ancient
a
dinosaur egg.
like a previously extinct animal or something that he could, maybe hunt down. And
Yeah,
we
something
thought
that's
this was
animal-y.
extinct, but somebody saw. Yeah, I mean, I guess that was my first reaction. Was like, look, let me set the context for what I'm about to say. I am rapidly getting concerned at how little Disney seems to care about the theme of their theme parks anymore. They seem to be sort of willing to just jam IP in places where it's questionably fits at best. So my first reaction, which was just a gut reaction, was like, no, Indiana Jones does not belong in the animal kingdom. I don't know. I still kind of feel that way, but I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see what they do. If it's a direct port of Temple of the Forbidden Eye, I'm sort of wondering what that has to do with a theme park whose theme is like conservation and nature.
But then I got thinking, not all the rides at Animal Kingdom have to do with conservation. What does Everest have to do with
I
conservation?
mean, so
Well, it's
Everest,
the lead up. It's the pre-show kind of
Yeah,
thing.
the whole
walking through
pre-show
there,
is
but they
all
try and
about-
tie
I
it
guess.
in with that. But yeah,
and I mean, in fairness, it it at least has an animal as its central theme, right? Like, I agree with you. It's not like but it's
a mythical animal.
It's a mythical animal, but yeah,
Right.
it's
Mhm.
That was
it's
part
at
of
least
the
there's sort of a nod, right? Like, it wasn't just a complete, they didn't make it the Guardians of the Galaxy Everest. It was like, at least it has I mean,
That would
Yeah.
be awesome.
That's a good point. But
so I mean, I don't know. I was totally like, what with Encanto, until somebody explained the thing to me. So Encanto seems to fit just fine.
Right.
I
Yeah,
do like
a little like, what on?
I do like that this picture has a heck of a lot of trees. Now, granted, they
well, it
always
is
do
Animal
that.
Kingdom, but yeah,
That
compared to
area
right,
is just a parking lot.
asphalty,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like the
Yeah.
worst, like hottest part of the entire park over there.
Yeah, I don't see any.
I made my annual visit to Animal Kingdom on Friday, by the way, so I'm good for
It's a great
2023 now.
bar.
It's a great bar.
Chris Smith in the comments says there were groundhogs in Indiana Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So maybe it's about he's finding
go.
the groundhogs.
There's your connection.
Or maybe he's back on the train, the circus train, when he was a young boy and he falls into the rhinoceros car.
Yeah, I think if they did a storyline that was centered around animals or anything, even that would be fine. I don't see any situation in which they don't just port over the Disneyland version, and that's a little bit of a.
Yeah. I want snakes. I want it all
I mean, that
about
just
snakes.
doesn't
I
really-
mean, the president's set for that to happen, right? Remy's
Sure.
Ratatouille Adventure is a port, and Mickey's Runaway Railway, they took the Disneyland, so
Right.
that's likely what
Yeah,
they'll do.
they've been which I don't have an issue with them sort of porting attractions as long as it's like logical. I just
Right.
moving something in here that just does not at all fit is a little bit.
No, I get it. And now that I think about that, if that is the bridge on the bottom, which it might be, we're not sure. But on the
Right.
left, that would be the playground today, right? Isn't that what that is? That's where
Yes.
the boneyard is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to look at a map of Animal Kingdom now, and I found the spot, but I can't.
there was the play yard on one side,
like
and the
twisted
boneyard was
wrong,
on
and
the other side, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And likely things they don't move are existing show buildings. If they can reuse the track, they will.
yeah.
And
They're certainly
gonna
not going to move
locate a
the
restaurant.
dinosaur show building. That's
Yeah,
right.
They don't have to relocate a restaurant. They will, at least not the kitchen area.
yeah, which does make me wonder whether that big building is a restaurant area.
I
it
mean,
seems
I-
huge.
Based
but
on what I
could be.
saw, John, yeah, I think you're right. I think that
Yeah.
up front is the
Restaurantosaurus.
up
Yeah.
top. I mean, is the Indiana is where dinosaur is
Yep.
now. So
Yeah.
I think the show building's just hidden in that. This, I'm assuming, is Restaurantosaurus.
Yep.
I just don't remember it ever having
So-
that much space.
So we have to
Well,
point out, by the way,
maybe they're
that
expanding it to be a sit down or something. You know, like a bigger sit down.
Maybe.
we have to point out that none of this is confirmed at all. There,
Well,
there-
No,
I
they-
think
they-
back to the first Toy Story Land concept art we had, and all the things we didn't get that were part of that, right?
Well,
Andy's barn was on Al's
I
Toy
mean-
Barn was on the original Toy Story.
Yeah.
Land
can we
concept
just
art.
be honest? We're still waiting for Spaceship Earth to be redone.
We're
Mary
still waiting on
Poppins
that
went
Mary
into
Poppins
the ether.
attraction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been lately there's been a tendency to kind of announce things, and sort of we'll get the three-story pavilion that was supposed to be overlooking the World Showcase, and it was supposed to be an event center that got scrapped as well.
Or
We had
another event
concept art.
center, which we saw more about.
And the
Right,
play
right.
pavilion
Yep.
was
Play Pavilion.
And the Play Pavilion.
went the way of the dodo.
Right. So
Wait.
So this is all concept art from them, but they haven't given any dates.
No,
They,
Nothing. Nothing.
they
Here's
haven't
what
given
they
any
s-
details, just saying what, John?
yeah, they said Walt Disney Imagineering is planning to reimagine Dinoland USA at Disney's Animal Kingdom into a new land inspired by a region sometimes referred to as the Tropical Americas. New experiences inspired by Encanto, the award-winning Walt Disney Animation Studios film, and fan favorite adventurer Indiana Jones are being considered for
Right.
the reimagined land. And that's
Don't
all we
hold
get.
us to it. Don't.
So in the
hold us-
context of the presentation, Josh D'Amato introduced it as we have Asia, we have Africa. Now we're adding a new land to Animal Kingdom. And that's the way they went about it. This is adding a
land.
third location to visit.
Right.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like,
Except for the fact that the logo is going to have to be scrapped with like
They'll figure it
dinosaurs
out.
on it. Yeah.
They won't even bother. It'll just stay the way it is.
That's
They'll
why
put
that
it. They'll
unicorn
stick
or
a
that
dinosaur
dragon's still in there.
statue somewhere in the park and be like, "No, we have a dinosaur." He's right
They
over
never changed it with the dragon on there. So
Yeah, the dragon's still
there.
on
The dragon's
front.
been there for 24, 20,
Poor
whatever,
dragon.
25
When it
years.
opened.
yeah, exactly. All right. Well,
Actually, that
That's-
park is
Look, I'm
25.
happy to know they at least know something needs to happen to that area of the park that's been nothing but since they took that coaster out, and most of those
Right.
games that we were talking about are closed and not even functioning. You walk
Right.
through there and it's like, where is everything? It's
Yeah.
a big nothing. It's a big
You
parking
know,
lot.
what is really sad is do you guys play this game too, where you're sitting at home because you're not on vacation and you just want to see
You
what the
check the
ride?
wait times. We
Yeah.
do that all the time. Yeah,
All the
Well,
time.
I mean, we
So
used to.
I was doing it tonight.
I knew what you were gonna go
Okay,
to.
what'd you get tonight? That's awesome.
So
Wait,
tonight.
but we're going to a different park. Here I had queued up.
No.
the other
I'm
thing
just gonna say about Animal Kingdom. So
Oh, okay. All right.
what's really sad, so if you zoom way out and can see all of Disney World, it
Okay.
tells you like the number of attractions in each
Okay.
park, and then as you zoom in, it breaks up into
Yeah,
like okay, Animal Kingdom is 8.
Yeah, but it's not even 8 though. Look at what they count as attractions. Like some of the it's like the train to conservation station. I mean that's not an attraction. It's like a little train ride out to look.
It's
at
true.
I
animals.
know, it's just I whenever I have a short trip, like I have another short trip coming up in a couple weeks, it's like, well, I don't think we'll go to Animal Kingdom.
I mean,
'cause there's
if
not
you want to
much
be
do.
real, Animal Kingdom has Everest, Dinosaur, the Safari.
And Pandora.
Yeah, and Pandora. That's true. So and I'll count both the Pandora attractions and Kali River Rapids.
If
Right,
it's
that's like
open.
sort of
I
a
kind of
ride.
forget about that.
Look,
Yeah.
a lot of times.
remember what
It's pretty weak.
Pandora did to Camp Mini Mickey.
Yeah.
If this does to Dinoland, this
Correct.
is
Yeah,
going
for
to be
sure.
a hit. It's going to be a success.
Mhm.
Yeah, no doubt. And
Yeah.
I mean, too, look, I've been on record many times as saying I really don't care for the Pandora attraction at all. But the area is gorgeous. I mean,
Right.
it's absolutely
Very well
gorgeous. And
done.
listen,
Yep.
attractions are personal taste. So plenty
Yeah.
of people love Pandora. So that's fine. But the area looks incredible. So, I mean, if they do the same kind of thing up there, and, I love the Indy ride in Disneyland. So
Absolutely.
even if it doesn't fit the theme, I'll still go on it a lot. So it'll definitely get me to Animal Kingdom more for sure.
It should
no doubt
also
about
break up the flow of people coming into that park because right now you have
Yeah, they
Right,
just all
think-
go to Everest and the safari.
Well, you got two different lines today. You got the people that are going right to Pandora, and people that are going to Safari, and maybe Everest is the third. But that's what people are queuing for first thing. This could add something else to that.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but it might actually suck up some traffic from
Pandora.
from everywhere. Like
Yeah.
maybe Magic Kingdom won't be as crowded. Maybe the studios won't be as crowded.
Problem is, we're not hearing any dates of anything. But thank you for sticking with Animal Kingdom there, John, because I like this next announcement.
And the thing about that is it takes them so long to build anything as it is without even a start date. I was talking to one of my friends who's a pretty big Disney guy, and we were saying honestly, you probably won't see this until the 2030s.
Oh yeah, they even said in their presentation, like, for the next decade, we're going into overdrive or something with the park.
Yeah.
So
I would hope
decade.
it happens
And
before
those
then.
things could change in flight.
Certainly.
Think back to New Fantasyland and getting the Seven Doors Mine Train. That wasn't in the original concept art, but that's what we got.
Yep.
So this here on the screen now is another change coming to Animal Kingdom. Underneath the Tree of Life, you used to have It's Tough to Be a Bug, and now they are saying perhaps a Zootopia attraction, which it looks like from this picture it's a 3D movie.
It does. And I originally thought they were talking about a light show on the tree, but this is
So did I,
replacing
Sam.
floodlights.
That's funny you said that. Originally, that was exactly what I thought, and then I was
That's
like,
what I thought.
Oh, Tree of Life Theater. Okay,
Yeah,
that means
this is
Tough to Be a Bug.
where I forget
Yeah.
the character's name, but the police officer, he's clearly
Judy Hopps.
sitting where Hopper is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Oh,
He loves this movie.
the captain or
Oh
whatever.
no, you're talking about I don't remember.
I don't know
his
what
name
his
either.
name is.
Yeah, I forget his name too.
The security guard that
the-
looked at
the-
the cheetah.
Chubby,
maybe he
the
is?
chubby
Yeah.
guy, the
The
chubby,
chubby
cheetah.
cheetah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
love
he's
him.
clearly right where Hopper usually is. And Hopper
Yeah.
is an awesome animatronic, by the way. One of the
Yes,
best.
When
Yeah.
he works.
agreed.
Well, of course.
Yeah. Well,
I've seen it where he doesn't even come out and you're like, where's the voice coming
Yeah,
from?
it's B show. But
Yeah, it's a B
I
mode.
think what. Quite frankly, I'm just gonna say this. I welcome this change.
Yeah, me too. Well, first of all,
Wholeheartedly.
Zootopia is top 3 of my favorite Disney movies. I love
cool.
Zootopia. And I went to see Tough to Be a Bug maybe
Howser.
less than
There
a
you go.
year ago.
Yeah.
And it hasn't aged well, and B, honestly, it's from
Scares
that
kids,
phase. Well,
by the
it's
way.
from that phase of Imagineering when they seem to really hate their guests, and they did all these obnoxious things to squirt water on you and stink
Poke you
you
in the
out
back.
and poke you in the back,
And then-
they had that whole phase where that was their thing.
I still love the bugs getting let go first. That's
Oh, yeah,
still my
that's-
favorite
that-
part. Watch
that's
that
a
play
fun.
with the bugs.
Yeah, for
freaks me
sure.
out every time. but I remember our young kids being scared with
Yeah, my daughter
Yeah.
is extremely
Spiders.
brave.
never wanted to do. Yeah, the spiders never wanted to do it again.
No, my
after that
daughter,
first time.
who would go on anything, was terrified. That's the only ride I ever brought her out of crying. I mean,
I
she
know.
was horrified
Well,
when those spiders came down from the
Extraterrestrial
air.
alien
That
encounter.
was.
Maybe?
I don't think I ever took her on that.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
good.
mostly because I hated it. But
They're scary.
What
the
don't you
original
hate,
version.
Ian?
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion, I love Haunted Mansion.
I was starting to
I-
wonder that.
Pirates, I love Pirates.
So yeah, looking like a Zootopia
Space Mountain.
attraction, Tree of Life Theater replacement. I can see this happening a lot quicker.
And this, hey, we were just saying about, is it good or bad to port a ride
This fits
from one place?
perfectly.
This fits perfectly, and it's not ported over from the Zootopia attraction
Right. Yeah.
overseas. So yeah, I think it's a good thing.
You got to wonder.
Yeah,
where it
this
is in
one I was
development.
2 thumbs up on for sure.
Well, the question is, where do we want to go next?
Where
Well,
do you think that is in development? By the way, do you think it's close? Do you think it's
No.
That the new show? I would
Yeah.
say that's probably further along, if I was to
hope so.
guess, than
sure hope
other stuff,
It-
because it's an easy fix, and quite frankly, it's needed. I just think again, it's
Yeah.
a scary show for kids.
Well, I mean,
think
and also
this would
it's
be
tough. It's
very
tough to be a
welcome
bug
crowd
isn't
wise.
exactly like
It's
Top
not a
of
hot
mind.
property at this
right?
point.
Like A
Yeah.
Bug's Life, like is not. It doesn't have a following really. You know, it was an odd
Sure.
choice. I mean, I guess it made sense at the time because it's an animal animal park. But I mean, it's not one of their better known films. So I think it's time.
Well,
for it to change.
we are talking about tropical America's tropical things
Okay.
over at the Magic Kingdom. They
All
are
right.
going to open a new tavern.
Okay.
Boy, I have questions about this one, especially the way it was presented, because it was
Okay.
presented as the Barker Bird's coming back. Look how cool this is. We're going to have him back, the original Barker Bird that everybody's been talking about. We're going to put him in front of a brand new tavern. Then
Yeah.
he didn't say anything else about the tavern.
So it would we're talking about a Pirates of the Caribbean themed tavern. All we've got is a picture, a cartoon of if you remember from the old days of pirates.
Salty old pirates.
Salty old pirates. There used to be a Barker bird, and we're not
Right.
talking about Bob Barker. God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. Yeah.
Barker, as in trying to sell
Outside-
to get you into the
Into
attraction.
the attraction.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
used to be years and years and years ago. This animatronic bird was outside, kind of where the sign is that says like your wait time to get
Yep.
into. Right at the
Yep.
entrance, there
Yes.
was a Barker bird, and he would say all kinds of things to get your attention and get you to go over and go into the ride. So now, and he's gone missing for years and years. Not missing, they just took him down, and now they're bringing him back, and I guess they're going to stick him in this new tavern. We sail with the tides. With the tides. That's right.
Thank you, Chris
We
Smith.
sail with the tides. We sail with the tides.
Yes. So I'm assuming this is gonna go in the Tortuga Tavern across the way from Pirates, or it would go in where they have the little like where it used to be like the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, but for pirate kids.
Pirates.
I don't think
Lair
there's
or
I
whatever.
don't think there's enough space in there. That's not a big
Well,
space at all.
Yeah.
Tortuga
the-
Tavern makes the most sense.
Yeah,
It
but
probably
Tortuga
does.
Tavern's not that big either.
Or they reimagine the whole exit of the ride, quite frankly, and just take all of that area that is the shop and everything,
That's
and
true.
kind of
You could do that.
and kind of redo
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
or
that's
is this
Or-
going to be an actual tavern with like sit down table, or is it going to be like Gaston's Tavern, which isn't really
Right.
a tavern? There's
I
like
mean,
3
that's more
tables
what
in
I
there.
was thinking. It may be a tavern in the same way that is, and then they could they could put it in Tortuga, right? Because they'll just
Okay.
kind of rejigger that spot.
I'm just
They
going to say,
close it
if
in.
they did something like they did in Galaxy's Edge with this,
like Ogus.
Ogus, yeah, it could be really cool. I mean, if you
Is there going to be alcohol? Is the obvious question.
Of course there is.
yes,
that's a
there's gonna
given.
be. I think
Not if
that
it's like
ship has sailed.
Gaston's Tavern.
Get that?
Then it's just a count, and then it's just a fancy counter service.
Yeah, well,
They'll
that's coming soon too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure
probably.
that'll
I'm wondering how much
'Cause
longer
they're
they
still-
hold out on that kind
They're
of
still
stuff.
just saying with dinner at
Really?
the Beast Castle, that's all you can do at Magic
I just
Kingdom.
feel like that's going to change.
We've been
Or
feeling
Or
like
this
that
will
would be
be
for
a
cool.
thing that
decades.
you have to wait to get into, and then you much like Oga's, where there's sort of a
Yeah,
queue
or
and
like
a
Trader,
line,
or like Trader Sam's, or like any of the other
And you go
kind
in.
of
I mean-
hot tickets they have.
I know this
Right.
is just concept art and it has nothing it's in reality, but there are like chickens and pigs and drunken pirates sloshing around their rum and
It'd
stuff.
be
in this
cool
picture.
if
It would be cool if there was like animatronic pigs
Yeah.
and chickens and they played rowdy music and like there'd be your waitresses are all like
Or wenches.
wenches and
Hold on,
yeah.
it's the old Splash Mountain animatronics. Is that what you're saying?
recycled,
Oh,
maybe.
maybe.
That's
You
not
might
a
be able
bad
to
idea.
bring a few over.
Sure.
Sam, recycle, reuse. You know what I would love?
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
I would love it if you actually kind of could look out into the ride.
Oh, now you're just getting crazy. Where the heck? would
Yeah,
they
now
put
you're
that?
getting crazy.
You'd have to like rebuild the whole thing.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how
Cut a
it was
Now
hole
you
in
done.
want
the
the new
ceiling?
ride
Yeah,
is what you want. That's not going to happen. Come on.
put a second. Well,
Cut a
that's-
hole in the
but-
ceiling.
I'm with
above-
Sam on this one.
I'm
No,
allowed
no,
to
no.
Never
dream.
gonna happen.
Cut a hole in the ceiling, but near the beginning of the ride with like the caves and like the
Yes,
skeletons in the
See?
sand.
Carolyn, I like
Yeah,
the
you
way
could-
you're thinking.
You could look over the railing at that.
We got that
stuff.
in Mexico. That's about as good as you're going to get for that.
No,
Oh.
see, I'm just saying. Intercut
I think it's a
Consulting.
great
we
idea.
ran the
I
world.
don't like that they focused at the expo that this is all about this Barker board, this animatronic, which by the way
Yeah.
was down at Disney Springs for a long time. Then it
Oh, was
finally
it?
came back. But
I
they
didn't know
just
that.
mention this tavern and show a picture and move on. Don't say anything about it.
That
No,
Yeah,
happens.
because they can't. The more detail they give, the more readily we're able to hold them accountable when they don't do what they said they were
This
going
is
to do.
true.
So
Maybe they
they've
don't even
decided
know.
they've decided that they'll solve that problem by just not telling us anything. That's
This
their
is true, Ian. You're right.
yeah. They're
So
like
again,
politicians. Maybe
the
someday
point
we might
being, yeah,
have
the point
national
being,
debt.
no date attached, no other details. Literally, that was pretty much all that was said. It's a new Pirates of the Caribbean themed lounge is coming to Adventureland.
I like the
at
use of
Magic.
the
Although
word
it said
lounge.
coming, is coming.
I also
Well,
like the
recent
use
part-
of the word lounge,
I
though,
know,
right? Because it doesn't say like it says lounge.
Right.
That implies that it's going to
Sofas?
be a lot more like
Sofas.
Trader
So,
Sam's or
Let me
a
just say,
lounge is not Gaston's Tavern.
here we go. Let me just say, so I'm starting to get to the point where I am almost reading Disney press releases like they're a politician. Okay, so are being considered was said for what we just talked about in Dinoland. On this one, it said specifically is coming.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it will.
So
Come. It's
that-
a
I think it's as
restaurant.
easy as Tortuga Tavern. I really do.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Anything
I
else.
agree with you. I think that's
So-
where it's going.
It's
Right,
like
but
Gusto's Tavern, except
that's
to
my
say you
point.
put some pirate things in there. You put the bird out front. You don't have to do much theming because
You're going to have to close it in, though, because it's like a big open patio.
Yeah, that's what
Which
they'll
would be
do. They'll
good.
Probably.
This
Close
is
it
just
in
a
air conditioning, love
no-brainer.
it.
Like
Yeah.
great franchise, great
Well,
aesthetics for the land. Boom.
And look,
Make it
think
happen.
about how little Trader Sam's is, right? Like how many
Right.
people can fit
Tiny.
in Trader Sam's?
Dude, Trader Sam's
like,
is the arcade. It's as big
yeah,
as this.
really, like seriously, it's very, very tiny.
It's big
And
as
so
Sam's
you can
basement.
easily do, but it's also probably prints money for them because, in addition to all the booze they sell, they do all the tiki mugs, which they make a fortune on. And there is
right. So
they
you
will
could
do
do
a
something
whole
similar.
new line of
Yeah.
pirate themed tiki
Rum
mugs in this
mugs.
place. And yeah, absolutely.
You know what? Just like Oga's Cantina, I feel like when they make something that's small, people are like,
Everybody
"Oh,
wants to
demand,
get
I
in
want to
there."
go!"
Yeah.
And so
Yep.
and it's always sold out, like reservations. So then it's like the hot place
You're
that I gotta go.
creating a demand just by contracting the supply, right?
There
Like,
you go. What
absolutely.
if the
exactly right.
lounge was where the two skeletons are playing checkers? Like there was a basement down that you would enter a secret entrance and go down
There's
into
quite a few spaces in that too where you
pirate's
could put a tavern.
lair down
Yeah.
below.
Just take up some utilidor space.
I know,
Let's do it.
right? By the way, Andrew, my son, is jealous
Thanks,
of your
Andrew.
basement. So
It's a labor of love, for sure.
Let's
Dude,
stay in
by the
the
way, I'm going to segue for you here because you were talking about the tiki mugs that they're
Uh-huh.
selling. How about a Hatbox Coast tiki?
I have
David-
one. You want to see it?
Do you?
Yes.
It's a little disturbing. That was the one that looks like
Yeah, John
Ahmed,
didn't
the
like it.
dead terrorist.
John didn't like it. Was it from Disneyland or where'd you get it? Ian?
It's Disneyland. Disney World.
You have it?
Grog Grotto. Yeah, hold on. I'll grab one. Grog Grotto
Okay.
hasn't
Look at
come
that.
out with
Ian's
theirs.
Look, he
Be right back.
materialized right there. Did you
Magic.
see that?
Yeah, I know. It's
He's
just like
like the ghost.
it's
Just
like
like,
the ghost.
the Hatbox
Yeah,
Ghost.
when I
knew you were
saw
gonna
this-
go here next.
I thought of Jeff Dunham. Silence! I kill you. Like
So we got to talk about the controversy here. What do you got there? Let's see.
I have returned. See, there's my hat box.
Oh, that's cool.
He is actually pretty cool though.
Yeah.
It's
If I
pretty
was to
cool
get
and
one,
creepy at the
I
same
would-
time, but I think that's what the Hatbox is all about.
Yes.
would-
Yeah, like he's got like kind of a scary face. Like I don't
Yeah.
know why my camera's misbehaving
So-
here, but see, like he's like a little creepy.
Well, it's because
Yeah.
he's blue and
Is he ceramic or
Chiron.
plastic?
that's ceramic. That's real.
He's very
Can you
ceramic.
drop it for us?
Yeah, I
Let's
don't
see
think
how
so.
breakable it is.
Not for what I paid for.
So,
it.
Sam, you were talking about controversy. Are you talking about where the placement
The
is?
placement of the ghost. Because look, we heard about this
Oh,
at
yeah.
Expo last year for crying out loud.
Terrible.
I know that's
Terrible.
Disney for you. A year later, they still haven't put the single animatronic in yet, right?
And
Right.
I think everybody assumed that it would go at the end of the attic, same place
right?
as you
Same
see
place
him
as
Sure,
Disneyland.
yeah.
in Disneyland.
Made
And
perfect
then
sense to go there.
this movie came out, which I don't know if you guys still haven't seen it.
Nope.
Nope.
No,
It is
I
going to
didn't
be
see it.
hitting Disney Plus, by the way, not a paid thing. It's just going to be on
then
Disney
I'll
Plus
watch it there.
Okay.
October 4th. And
I
I've
probably
seen
will.
it. It's actually a good movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
I plan to see it.
I liked it. I just feel like it was not put out in the Halloween season, so
It
it
was
did,
just-
and it was like
and
trying to
it was-
compete with Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Barbie. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
So let me ask you this, Carolyn, because this is the controversy. It is that you don't see any ghosts in the Haunted Mansion until the seance room when Madame Leota summons the ghosts and you go to the ballroom.
Intentional. That's part of the story.
It's
Right.
part
But
of
now
the
here's
movie.
my question. Does the movie change that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it does.
And I will pause right there for a second because you do kind of see hints of ghosts. In the Haunted Mansion, like you see the guy's hand trying. Well, you see the dead guy's hands trying to get out of his coffin,
right? But
and stuff.
So are they going to change the narration where he says they're beginning to materialize, and there's something like they've already materialized?
In the movie, he's more of a not a blue ghosty, like, oh, you can see through me, I'm transparent. He's like a guy, and he can travel from place to place. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but
don't give us any spoilers.
Essentially,
but what you're telling me is
working
watch the movie and it'll fit.
So we're working in the storyline of a failed movie into a classic attraction.
That's what I said.
Maybe.
Sorry, I have to be honest on this. It did not do well at the box office.
No, it definitely didn't. But do you ever notice, though, when you see him, say if you're on the Disneyland ride, he isn't ghosty see-through the way that like the bride or the guys in the graveyard are kind of they wear the clear plastic raincoat outfits, right? Because you can see through them. He's not like that. He's more like a demon-y guy.
Right.
I don't want to give anything away. Anyways, so it's fine if he sort of appears beforehand. I see where they're coming from, but for old school people like you and I that know that story and they're beginning to materialize, let's be honest, 9 out of 10 newbies that go to Disney World don't give a crap.
But see, that's my problem, though. You just hit on something that annoys me. Like,
I know it annoys me too.
Here comes
it
Ian
bugs me that. Well, no, I mean I'm not going to rant about it.
I didn't know.
It's just a very simple statement. I don't like the fact that they dumb their parks down because like all the newbies don't understand. Like, so what? They don't have to understand. I didn't understand. Did you understand the story of the Haunted Mansion when you first wrote it, John?
No. No. It took me.
You thought it was really cool, right?
Right. That was it.
Right.
It was scary too.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy.
Because
it was great.
So, Ian,
and then over the years, you learn the mythology of the attraction. Like that's the evolution of a Disney fan.
But that's where I'm going to stop you because remember just recently, I 100% agree with you, by the way, but I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Carolyn does this well.
I do this well. Ian, you know how when you went on Guardians of the Galaxy, and you've been on it a bunch of times now, but remember when you first went on it, the first few times, you're like, I don't even know what they're saying during the ride part. It's all just like, woo, music and stars flying by. I don't even know what the heck's going on, right? Yeah. So for most people who it is like their once or twice in a lifetime thing, I get it. They are dumbing it down for people like us, but for them, they don't care.
Jennifer,
you and I, but it bugs us. It also bugs us that EPCOT isn't like educational anymore and whatever. And it's all like, woo woo, let's throw IP around.
I don't know that it doesn't matter if they care.
Priorities are different. Yeah.
Like they did it because it was the right thing to do, not because people cared. You know what I mean? Like they took great loving care to establish these attractions in a way that nobody had ever done before. And like, I don't know. They're just sort of leaving that.
But on the other side,
legacy behind.
Right on the screen, Jennifer says the movie's really good. Gave me a lot of the same feels of the ride. So then, maybe for those who did see it, will make sense. I don't know.
Heather Morier says that she liked the movie.
She liked it.
And Greg Gately.
Yeah, I like what Greg said.
He rides the Haunted Mansion weekly, and he still doesn't understand the whole story.
You know what? I had to actually read up on it a little bit online.
I did too.
To understand the falling out the window and the whole 9 yards and the ring and all the backstory.
Well, to be clear, I don't think that ring story is like legit.
I think that was
like when I say story, I'm talking more about the build of the attraction, not the
And
fake backstory
Master
that people have
Gracie
come up
and
with
his
over
many
the years.
wives.
Yeah, like more about the actual attraction build,
Mhm.
right? To how we were just talking about it. Like you don't see the ghosts until Madame Leota summons them. Like that.
Right.
That's the story that I'm talking about. Yeah, the whole like, there's a ring embedded in the sidewalk. And
But
he's
again,
not, like,
there's been stuff like apparitions going on in the Haunted Mansion before Madame Leota. There's a creepy hand going by a
but
clock.
you don't see the ghost though.
You don't see 'em.
And that's
But
intentional.
if you saw that in your house, wouldn't you say, "Oh my gosh, there's a ghost"?
No, I think how'd they do that?
Well, what about the hand that pushes up the coffin? Doesn't that happen before that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
what-
would be
But that's not a ghost.
Un-
It's a skeleton.
it's an undead guy.
But
That's
it,
not a ghost.
And it's
Okay,
an undead
all right.
guy, which
Boy,
the
man,
Hatbox Ghost
wow.
is.
okay.
Okay, there you go,
It could
Carolyn.
be
Maybe you
you
just
in there.
justified it there.
Okay.
And you see like footprints from
Yeah.
the ghosties.
There you
Yeah,
go.
see,
Greg
he's-
pointed
The
out. You
footprints
see the
are new, though. They
footsteps
were
on
an
the
addition. They're
stairs.
not original, so you
But-
can't
That's true.
use that
That
to.
whole endless hallway is an update.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh,
new. I love
my.
it, by the
Uh-oh.
way.
Oh, holy crap.
Andrew wrote a paragraph. John's
Uh-oh.
son Andrew says, Guardians, it doesn't matter as much because of how fast the ride moves. Haunted Mansion is a slow-moving ride that benefits from great
I
storytelling.
mean, he's right.
He is
Yeah.
right. The
I knew
lore
I
was
liked that
carefully
kid.
crafted by
I
Imagineers.
knew
and
I
should
liked
stay
him.
the way it is. He agrees
Andrew,
with
if
you.
I haven't told you lately, you're my
Then
favorite
you only
Ian
read the
kid.
last 3 words in that entire thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Ian's
Exactly.
right.
I
Doesn't say
agree
Ian's
with
right.
Ian.
Yeah, see? This kid is a genius. I knew it. Amazing that
Boy.
you've managed to.
Okay, well, if we're sticking on sort of the west side of the Magic Kingdom, there's
Okay.
another big change. Again, this
brewing?
is just proposed, no
Uh-oh.
dates or anything, but the Country Bear Jamboree is getting a whole new shamalama ding dong.
A whole new show is what I heard.
Yeah, it's a whole new show.
So it's going to be mostly the same bear characters, except Liver Lips McGrowl. His name is what, the dude McGrowl now? It says on the poster. Let me.
Yeah,
Liver
like the
lip.
dude.
Oh,
I'm just
Romeo
gonna buy
it.
McGrowl. Sorry.
Romeo
Okay.
McGrowl.
No, there's
Romeo is a lot better than dude. Thank
no,
God.
there's one
Let's-
called
let's-
Ernest
hold on.
the Dude in the bottom. Ernest the Dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, Ernest is all right.
There we
Ernest
go.
is a good bear.
So I didn't know this, but apparently liver lips is something offensive.
Here we go.
Clearly, it had to be.
I mean,
I always just thought
I
it
had
was
no
because
idea.
his lips were floppy like two
well,
slapping.
yeah, but I mean, even
liver.
that's sort of like a little offensive, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's clearly an
guess.
insult based on somebody's personal appearance.
No,
So,
it's,
who
well, it's
wants to bet that
apparently
he's
an
gonna sing Elvis?
alcoholism thing. I don't know.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, but you should be able to make fun of alcoholics. I don't,
Okay, so look at Romeo there for a
They're
second.
not a
Is he gonna be
protected
singing
class.
Elvis? Maybe.
What's
Just
that?
look at him. He looks like Elvis. What
He
song is he
looks
gonna
like
sing?
Elvis, except he's not going to be singing Elvis because apparently they're changing all the songs to be Disney IP songs.
Well,
I didn't hear that. Is that in the press release?
I'm looking.
You didn't
Hold on.
hear
think-
that. That was the whole announcement.
Basically, that they're getting new songs and that they would be.
They'll be
From
Disney
your
songs.
It
favorite
didn't say
Disney
they would
movie.
all
Okay.
be.
Yeah, then they're IP related.
But
Disney movie,
think-
so it might not be an animated movie.
So
with
I bet
Disney
he's
songs
gonna
with
be
a
like-
country twirl or something
It's
like
going
that.
to be
or-
like
They're
Big
rewriting
Al.
classic Disney songs with country artists, is what they're doing.
So
In
there's
fact, they
no,
already
uh,
announced there's one. I don't even know the guy, but apparently other people do. There's
They
like
showed a
some guy
video
who's
of somebody recording a song, but clearly
Yeah.
no more blood on the saddle.
No,
No,
no more
it'll
blood on
be-
the saddle.
it'll be
Oh.
Big Al singing "Let It Go" and this
That-
Romeo McGraw with
Oh,
his kissy
no.
lips
No,
singing
no.
"Kiss
No.
the
He's gonna
Girl."
sing "Let It Go."
But
No.
it'll be a country version of "Let It Go." It won't be "Let It Go."
See,
It'll be "Let It Go,
But-
Let It Go."
I mean, I think there's going to be a revolt if Blood on the Saddle is gone.
I think
Nah.
it's gone.
It's
I
gone.
think
It's,
it's
it's
gone.
going to be all Disney songs. They already
Now,
said.
they-
Why don't we
also-
shoot
It did
him
not
instead?
say it
That's
was going to
going.
be all Disney songs. It said that they were going to have Disney songs.
They said they're
with-
going to sing Disney classics.
Look up the press release. It doesn't just say that that's
I
exclusively what
asked
we're
because
going
I didn't
to
read
do.
that
I
in
don't
the
think
press
you
release.
have to read between the lines.
I think you're
So
going to
we've
need
got-
to.
pretty clear.
We've
that's
got
what
Dude,
they-
we can't
Romeo
even read between the
McGraw.
map, the stuff on the map. let alone
Well, that's
lines and
different.
sentences.
Maps are tough.
They still have Big Al. They still have Wendell, but now he's singing with Teddy Barra, the one that
What?
swings on the swing.
The swinging
Yeah,
teddy bear.
swinging
Yeah.
teddy
That was
bear.
Trixie, right? No,
Yeah,
Trixie's the other
Trixie's
one.
still
Never mind.
there.
Trixie's
Sorry,
on the
sorry,
left, and she's gonna be with what's her name? Something Bubbles and Beulah.
It's
Yeah.
Bunny.
Bunny,
That's
Bubbles,
the three.
and
The three
Beulah.
that come out, right?
Can I
three.
just say I'm surprised that Trixie's staying too.
Why?
Yeah, well, she's
she's already
joining
in
up
there.
with the other girls.
Yeah,
And then these two guys look like they're new. Terrence Shaker and Ernest the Dude.
No, they're not. They've been
Those
in
are the guys
there.
on the right and left hand side.
Right,
Yeah.
but
The ones
I
that
don't
the
know
hat
if
comes up and the coon's under one of those guys.
right.
Oh, that's Henry. Henry's the host.
We had Henry's that. Yeah,
And
that
That was
he's-
Henry. Okay.
He has.
Yeah. All right.
But they don't have him with a tall hat on anymore. They got him.
No,
with
he's a cowboy. And then at the bottom, excuse me,
Okay.
at the bottom it still says featuring the 5 Bear Rugs. So
which is the band,
is the main band. Yeah.
right?
So this does say opening 2024.
Yes.
And
Right.
I don't know when it's going to go down, but I mean, I guess
Oh, I
They
like what Greg
replo-
says. They wouldn't
Oh.
have played Blood on the Saddle after the announcement if it wasn't staying.
maybe it'll
point,
be like
Greg.
in the
Sure, they do that all the time. They
I
love
don't
to
know.
show you things that used to be great that stink now. They sell all kinds of like pins
mean
and
like
shirts and for like once great
Horizons
like they're
in
like,
the
oh, have this
fireworks show.
wonderful Horizons pin to remember the ride that we once had that was really great that we tore out and replaced
Mhm.
with.
So look, they showed the
Shooting
recording
Buford has to
studio, so
stay.
we know that it's being recorded. That's good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
No, I don't doubt that at all. I mean, this is quite frankly, as much as it pains me to say, because I think this is, kind of again a classic attraction. It needs some updating.
Yeah,
It does.
I hate to say it too, but I agree.
The thing that I'm sad about is that they're going to be getting rid of the old voices, which
Yeah, which are
Yeah.
a lot of the classic
Which are a
Disney
lot
voice
Classic
actors.
guys.
a lot of legends. Yeah.
Earl
They're gonna be
Ravenscroft and
Yeah.
folks along that line. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
that is
All
true.
those- Yep.
Yeah, I hate that too.
So, but it was
But
an announcement. I don't think anybody saw coming.
No,
no,
definitely
But I
under the
think
radar.
you know what? I think it's a good thing because again, I would rather see this than to see it removed.
Well,
Didn't they
although
say that-
let me turn that on its head though, John.
Okay.
Or are they just not removing it because it's cheaper to re-record a couple of songs and
It may be.
than it is to build something new and amazing?
It may be, but it's staying. So
Did they announce, or did I dream it a while ago, that they were going to retheme Pecos Bill?
That has been a rumor because they rethemed it in Disneyland. It's now Tiana's whatever.
But they never said
Something or
anything
other.
about like maybe, kind of, sort of, maybe we will do.
That has been
I must have
rumored.
dreamed
As
that.
far as I know, it's only fan rumors. I don't
Only
think
rumor.
they've ever said anything about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Who knows who Pecos Bill is anymore? And like with Tiana sitting there, it's
Yeah.
it's kind of a no-brainer. But
It seems to be,
Okay.
but it's only been rumor.
yeah,
Now,
and
they
also
also-
they haven't. You would think if they were going to do it, they would have already announced it because they would probably want to do it at the same time as they're doing Tiana. So it's
It's
probably
just
not
like that
something-
rumor beyond Big Thunder.
Yeah, right. That
can we
one.
Well,
talk
this is-
Epcot for a second?
Hold on.
Oh
go
wait,
back.
no, we can't leave Magic Kingdom.
No,
'cause we
you
gotta
gotta
touch
say-
Come
on-
on.
We got one more.
We got to
Magic
touch
Kingdom
on
yet.
Beyond Big Thunder before you can't move.
So
that.
one of the things
Well, that's
that
true,
he
but I
said
don't
was,
have any. I don't have any good graphics for
Okay,
that.
we'll
so.
just
All
leave
right,
it at
hold on.
this
I'll
for a
stop
sec.
sharing them for a second. Good. Okay.
Okay, one of the things that Josh Merrow said was, and this you can take this as this cryptically coded in some way, but he
Right.
says we're going to be doing one of the biggest expansions ever to the Magic Kingdom, along the same size as like Pandora,
Star Wars
and
Galaxy's Edge and
Galaxy's Edge.
Pandora.
Yeah,
And the
actually,
word-
he said
yeah.
it'll be even bigger than New Fantasyland.
Which is that's big.
That's
That's
big.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
big.
big. New Fantasyland was big.
And then you have to take into account that they always keep saying beyond Big Thunder Mountain.
Yes.
They've been
Yep.
saying that as just like a
Looking to tell stories beyond
beyond
the
Big Thunder Mountain.
Thunder Mountain.
And then they put a big picture of Thunder Mountain and all the sort of those red clay type mountains, and they said we're going to be kicking it into overdrive at the Magic Kingdom. What does that tell you?
That could be a 10-year project right there. That's what that tells me there.
Well,
I mean,
or you could interpret it the other way, which is to say, hey, we know everybody, thinks it takes us too long to do stuff, so we're going to kick this project into overdrive.
Okay, you guys
get
are
it done
clearly
right.
not
we are
on the
parsing
same.
words.
You're
Holy
not on the
crap.
same
All right,
wavelength
let
as
me answer because you said overdrive.
I know
Go
you're
ahead.
trying to go
Oh.
somewhere.
Go,
like
Sam.
My thought was Wreck-It
Oh.
Ralph somehow, but it couldn't be me. But go ahead.
Okay.
What do you think?
Cars.
Cars Land, guys, Overdrive,
mountains,
Cars
yeah.
Land.
Yeah.
It's the same mountain
yeah,
range
and the same
back
type
there.
of mountains. Yeah.
And
Okay, let
they
me just
already
say,
have
if
the
they bring
ride.
Radiator Springs racers to Magic Kingdom, I may get fired from my job because I'm going to be there riding that ride all day long. That
If
is one
they
of my
bring
favorite
Cars
Disney
Land,
theme parks.
yes, Jennifer gets it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jennifer
If they
apparently
bring
Go,
gets it.
Cars
Jennifer.
Land, that is a really big expansion. Yes.
Yes.
Overdrive, and they purposely put this whole Thunder Mountain
I really like your kid,
picture
John.
behind him. So that was my thinking, is Cars Land, and they maybe will have worked out the bugs with Radiator Springs.
Makes
That
sense.
always
I like it.
happens.
I like it.
So
That
anyways, that was
would
my
be
theory.
amazing. That because I tell my kids all the time, and we're kind of we're sort of starting to plan a trip to Disneyland, but
Yep.
because most of my kids none of my kids have ever ridden Radiator Springs, but that is that is my favorite.
Guest
theme
satisfaction
land ever.
wise,
It's unbelievable.
number one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's good.
And I
pretty
can
much.
understand why.
Yeah,
It is so much fun, and the
It
whole
is.
land. Again, sometimes we're like. I mean, I won't say we. I'll say me. Sometimes I'm really negative about some of
Wait,
the
what?
stuff that goes on. But when you look at some of the things that they're still capable of doing, I mean, that's amazing. That whole Radiator Springs area is just stunning. It really is.
It is.
And the animatronics are really good.
Amazing.
And
I mean, when you come down that street and you're in on the main drag and all the neons lit, and Chris says, he a negative? No. I mean, I prefer to think of myself as the keeper of Disney's legacy. I'm the one who has to hold them accountable for being as good as they're supposed to be.
Is that your job?
That's my job.
That'd be a cool job to have.
That is a cool job.
No one pays me for it, but hey,
No.
someone's got to do it.
volunteer only.
They should hire me though, because they'd be a lot better off. Anyway,
Right.
but they
I
can still
can't
do
even
amazing
afford
things.
you.
Pandora looks amazing.
Right.
They do amazing work when they're given the right.
They do
time
that voodoo
and
that they do.
They do that
so well.
voodoo that they do so well.
So we can go over to
That's a Colonel
Epcot
Potter
now.
reference.
Can we
let's
go to
now.
Epcot?
Where do you want
Sure,
to start?
let's go to
Dad?
Epcot
Epcot.
it is.
I want to start someplace. I mean,
You start wherever you want, dude.
Heck, I think the most exciting announcement to me is one that probably won't happen, but it is. Let me parse the words here. Okay, where is it?
Yeah, read it.
Imagineers, along with teams from Chevrolet. Okay, here we go. I'm going to parse the words. Reaching. That's we're currently working on something back into history for inspiration to reimagine Test Track at Epcot, and they're going back to World of Motion for inspiration, which was the former inhabitant of Test Track. It was a great ride. Had one of the best ending scenes ever with the modern city, and they used the Haunted Mansion effect that would put you inside of these cool little cars, and it just was. It was what was it? Narrated by Gary Owens, the legendary broadcaster. So go look him up. Nobody knows who he is now.
I don't either.
But it's like they got Walter Cronkite to narrate Spaceship Earth, and then Gary Owens was another big radio voice, very famous back in the day. He was one of these guys that did the hand over the ear thing.
Oh yeah.
The world of motion. We're going to go in this direction now.
I don't know if it's
That
because it's like the inside of World of Motion looks a lot like Tron currently. It never used to. It kind of looked like an old.
You mean the inside of Test Track, not
Test Track 2.0.
Yes, I'm sorry. What did I say? I don't even know. Okay, so it currently does, but in the concept art, again, artist concept
Carolyn,
only.
Ian, move your microphone down a little bit.
You're going like
there
this.
we go. Little inside baseball. He didn't see the chat, apparently.
Oh, it sounds good. Yeah, that's very creaky sounding. Yeah, it's my haunted mansion vibe. When microphones creak.
I was thinking alien. Like
there
maybe
we go.
the
breathing
creature was
heavy.
going to come.
Hey,
There it is again.
Ian.
No, that time I didn't touch it.
No, you're breathing into it.
Ah, really? Darth Vader. That's my Star Wars effect. See, I brought my soundboard today. First we got Haunted Mansion Creeks, and now we're doing Darth Vader.
The Invader, the new character on the podcast,
and he's always angry.
Hair.
He's always angry.
I don't have enough hair to hold my head.
Go ahead, Carolyn. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, that's okay. I'm glad we don't have to listen to Ian breathing.
Here. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, so Test Track looks like Tron inside currently with like blue neon lights, and it's very robotic and computery and whatever, which is fine. It was great for what it was at the time.
It wasn't great for what it was. Okay, it was serviceable.
I feel like it was an improvement over Test Track version 1.
No,
Test Track version 1.
I vehemently disagree. I think it was
vehemently
disagree.
Yeah,
Test Track version 1 was so bright that you could see the track in front of you. It was like you're just riding around in a gymnasium. This at least was like darker, and like if you were new on the ride, it would be like, "Ooh, where are we going next?"
Okay.
But now going on this artist concept again, it's only artist concept, but you know the part of Test Track where it's whipping to do your left and right handling up the mountain,
40% speed,
exactly.
40% speed.
Now it looks like they've got like beautiful pine trees, and there's a sun setting off in the distance, and it's like, yes, what Andrew's saying there, it currently is screens versus actual props. He likes Test Track version 1 all the way. Well, it looks like they're going to bring back actual props, physical things in the place, which is great.
Yeah.
And this scene particularly, because I'm an old school Disney person, this kind of reminds me of the parts when you would be driving around and go past a billboard and that police cop on his motorcycle was hiding behind the billboard.
Right.
Do you remember that from World of Motion? He was like doing a speed trap.
Yeah.
Yes. That was
like
great.
Stuff like that was
Tron
great.
Truck is around the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Great little joke. Yeah, it was cool.
So the whole idea behind World of Motion was the progress of, when man first started, all he had was his feet, and then they decided to go on water, and then animals, and then we made bicycles and airplanes and cars and whatever.
Right.
Then Test Track version 1 was all about safety and like being a test
dummy. Yeah. You were the test dummy, essentially.
And then Test Track 2 was all about the design process of like making a well-designed vehicle. And now I think we're getting a little bit more back into the history of vehicles and maybe where we're going in the future. Because this is like, it looks like it doesn't look like a car anymore. It kind of looks more like a Tesla, like a
Logan's Run hover car almost.
Like an autonomous vehicle, perhaps.
Yes.
So here's my thought on it, and I think it falls into some other things that the trap that they've been in, which is trying to come up with an attraction like Test Track 2.0, which was about a specific point in time of technology, these electric cars, these batteries, all this stuff. And the enhancements have happened so fast in real life that it already feels dated. And this is trying to recapture the World of Motion to say, okay, we had some vignettes. We had this beloved thing that's sort of timeless, and it's not anchored in a point of time. That can give us some fresh air into this attraction. I love the fact that if that is a vignette and you're bringing back some of those things and you're going through the history of motion, this could be really cool. And it ends with, the race car or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. If they do it well, it could be good. No doubt.
I'm happy.
To me,
here's what I hope they get rid of the design center. Get rid of it all. Gone. Use that space for something else. It's such a pain in the butt. Everyone wants to design their own car, but they try to put 4 people on each one of the things. Get rid of that design center.
And I also say get rid of the stupid trans center at the end. What do they call it now? It used to be called the trans center.
Yeah, it's something that needs to be redone.
Who's buying a Chevy Cavalier
but
at the
that's-
end
Well,
of
they're
the
not
ride.
getting rid of that.
Look, they have to have their
Yeah.
showcase in
Chevy
order
pays
to
for
but
the
like-
pavilion.
But like they
But
have
make it
an
more
actual
interesting.
desk where like some
Yeah.
poor schlep from the dealership's got to sit there all day. Like nobody's buying a car at
I
Epcot.
think
could be
you would
better
be
done.
amazed at how many cars there. I bet you they sell a dozen cars there a year.
I don't
think?
know. It
Yeah,
used
I
to
do,
be at the end
because-
of World of Motion, they used to have futuristic cars on
Yeah.
turntable stages up high. This just looks like I'm at the mall and
It's like a Chevy
cars
showroom.
in the
It's like the
hallway at the
showroom.
moment.
Yeah,
It's
you're
the
like
showroom.
in the showroom. But
But
people
back
buy
to the
great
attraction
stuff.
vehicle, if I can. To me, it's just an attraction vehicle. There's nothing more to it. It's just the ride vehicle. It's not.
Yeah, it's
oh,
got
this-
that
this new
fancy
futuristic car.
neon looking wide headlight on the front. There, it's a little Tron-y looking.
It could be bouncing back and forth too. But again, concept art. Who knows what the heck it's going to
Yeah,
look
Andrew wonders.
maybe it'll
whether
be
it's
like
going
Knight
into the
Rider.
EVs and things like that. And
Yeah.
it might
Does
be.
anybody besides me remember when the original concept for Test Track was like wire guided and they weren't going to have a track on? Does anybody remember that?
No.
No.
Like originally it was supposed to be more like, not exactly, because obviously GPS wasn't a thing then, but it was supposed to be more like Ratatouille, right? Where there was like no track
Well,
in it.
or, quite frankly, Universe of Energy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like with
yeah.
the trackless, yeah, right.
Vehicles, which
But
were guided
and does
by
anybody
something
remember how
embedded in the
how
ground.
late it was opening? You remember it was delayed like 2 years when they were building it because they couldn't figure
The
out how to make that
tires.
work, and they had to do
It
the
was
tires
the
kept
tires.
burning up, and
Yeah.
they had all
I do
kinds
remember
of
that. Yeah.
They literally had to develop a special kind of rubber so that the tires wouldn't wear out so fast.
Yeah, I do
Obviously,
remember
they
that.
fixed it, but it was 2 years. We sat there and they would run test vehicles left and right, just kind of trying to make
Yeah,
it work.
I
And
remember being there watching them.
there's
going,
video on
yeah,
our website, by the way, of that.
Yeah.
Of
That's funny.
of the actual testing
Look,
going on.
did anybody see this
and
one
not
coming?
being open.
I think it's a great announcement. I love it.
That's what I
and
mean.
it came from nowhere.
Sam, I mean, of everything that was announced, being an Epcot nerd, this is the thing that has me the most excited.
Yeah, didn't
Of
see it coming at
anything.
all.
If
Same
it
here,
happens.
and
I-
I hope that it has more slow. As much as I like thrill rides, I hope it is kind of more like World of Motion, where
Like a little
there's
more
some
storytelling?
slow parts with like, oh, look at this vignette of people doing stuff,
Yeah.
and then have the big flashy fast part at the end. That's great, but yeah, I would like.
love
Problem is
to see a
that would
little
kill
more.
the throughput, though. That's the problem. They need to be able to put people through it.
Well, unless they can adjust that, right? Maybe the distance between the cars and things like that. You
I'm
wouldn't
sure
have
they
to
can.
have.
You can
it's-
have
it-
more cars.
Yeah, but you're
close
going to be
together.
constrained at the end, though. You know what I mean? Like you're going to
No,
bottleneck
I
at
get
the
it.
end there because
But-
you got to go through the track loop, and I think there's a safety gap they have to maintain on that
Sure.
spot.
Yeah,
so you would
whatever it may be.
You'd end up bottlenecked at the end. No, you know what? I mean, this is cool. I'm glad. I was really hoping for a Spaceship Earth announcement because
Yeah.
I have to be honest, I don't even ride the current iteration of Spaceship Earth anymore because I hate it so much. And it's just like,
What do you not
Carolyn,
like
was it
about
you saying like it was all clanky and jerky
Oh, when I was
and like
I was on it a few
noisy and
I was on it a few weeks ago and I was seriously worried that like we were going to collapse through the floor. It sounded like my car in particular was going over speed bumps like every couple minutes and the whole like you'd be going like this in the car lurching
Spaceship
over
Earth.
it.
It's just-
And it'd go
yeah.
bang.
That's
It's-
me.
Like
Boom.
there must have been something stuck on our wheel like at the
Yeah.
grocery
Boom.
store.
no,
Yeah.
it's
It was
the
awful.
ride mechanism slips. It's not built well. I hate the narration. I hate the James Duty Dench narration.
I don't hate it. I don't like the
Oh.
second half of the ride.
I hate it. The
The
second
second
half
half
of the
is-
ride is a
Agreed.
complete,
Agreed, Sam.
waste.
The
It's
whole
like a
thing was, like,
throwaway.
getting your head cut out. Like, see how Ian's head right now
That
is
doesn't
kinda-
even work anymore.
It
most
doesn't
of the
work.
time.
Half your face
No,
is cut
you
off.
get like some random cartoon face in there. It's not even you.
yeah.
And yeah, that back half, like, okay, the first like 3 times I did it, maybe it was like moderately entertaining, but like now it's like, okay, I know I can live underwater. Yeah, that's great. Like,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
God,
I
Andrew.
know. I'm so sorry that they never
Andrew, I'm
ended up updating it.
I'm taking you out
think-
for a beer the next time you come down here, Andrew.
Andrew says with
On
the
me.
Ending of Spaceship Earth is cringy. I agree, and horrifically boring.
Yeah.
I agree, and
I
how
think
to have it.
if Spaceship Earth
Tear
had
down the
a,
curtains. Hashtag
Yes.
tear down the curtains.
Yeah.
I think that if they got a sponsor back, then all
Yeah.
of those changes that they had proposed before
Yeah.
COVID, I think they would be helping. Because yeah, Spaceship Earth needs help
I
way
can
more
see-
than Test Track. But
I
guess
agree.
what? Test Track has a sponsor, and
Yeah,
so
that's
if they
true.
I
if
know.
they
And
want
you know,
They
to
want
get
the
better,
change.
they
Yep.
will.
Yeah, you're right.
They're
You're
so
absolutely right.
financially strapped, and I can understand why it's hard for them to spend, a few dollars to fix a ride. I mean, they
But
don't
if
have any
your
money. They're
sponsor
broke.
wants to do it, hell yeah.
What'd they
we'll
make?
do it.
Like $4 billion last quarter? Like maybe
I have.
Yeah, they're
This
saying
is
they're
the
off
question
100
I was going to
million.
ask, John. Let me ask one quick question while we're talking about Spaceship Earth,
Go ahead.
because we know Dreamer's Point's coming, but
Right.
originally the Spaceship Earth redo was going to include redoing the end of it. That project tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that
Yeah.
changing at all, or has anybody been in there to see if that's going to get an
Yeah, I was
update
just
when
in
they
there the
open
other
Dreamer's
day.
Point?
It's still the
It's
same.
still the same.
It still has
still the
the,
same,
broken.
okay.
the shuffleboard. It still has the
Right, those
the-
games that nobody plays or that
I mean,
kids want to
my-
play, and you're like,
my
no,
kids
come on.
play them.
I mean,
Okay.
honestly, literally, I think it was about eight or so years ago, maybe 10. My company was approached about doing the end of Spaceship Earth, that whole area, and
Yeah, yeah,
sponsoring that. Did not happen. Could not get my company on board.
Which, by the way, the other big thing with the test
do
track
it, but-
redo, don't look over that way where the play pavilion is. Just keep looking over here.
Yeah.
It's a,
Yeah,
it's
that
a show
too.
game
That too.
distraction.
I mean,
anyway,
again, it's just a shame. I wish something would happen with that.
What is this really big building with the purple and blue stuff on the front?
Okay.
Is that what
Is
was supposed
Communicore
That's
to
the
be?
Hall.
entertainment thing,
Pavilion?
right?
Communicore Hall.
That's Communicore Hall with the entertainment. And
Oh,
the
okay. So
stage
that's the
on
big,
back of
that's
it
the big,
and-
girders.
That's the
and
theater
beams and
center.
stuff
That's
that
the
I-
festival
yeah.
center. That's all those things.
I got
So
it.
my understanding is, so there's Moana, Journey of Water in the bottom. Oop,
Whoop,
go
go
back.
back.
there,
Sorry,
Sonny.
we went to
Okay.
overseas.
Journey of
while I
Water
was
is in the
zooming
bottom
in.
right corner.
Yeah, it's right
This-
below this. Yeah.
right
Yep,
there.
right there. And
But
by
yeah,
the
I got
way,
it now.
That's
That's the
in
steel
annual
girders
pass
that I see all the time.
previews. The-
Right.
Yeah,
And
I'll get
actually,
to ride it at the end of the month.
Ride it?
I mean, not ride it.
Ride
Walk
it?
through it.
opening date, by the way.
I'll get
on
my
that.
I'll get my
Okay.
plumbing lesson in less than a month.
We have an opening date for
Yeah,
Journey of Water
October-
inspired by
October
Moana.
16th. No, when is
October 16th.
it? October 16th.
October 16th.
So that was a definite date that was put behind something.
Now, here's one of the things I want to say about Journey to Water. I haven't experienced it yet, and I can't wait for you guys to. But everything that I'm seeing and what they're saying about Journey to Water is this is classic EPCOT education going through the
Really?
life cycle of water, and hopefully
Okay.
guests go home with a new understanding. That's
hope
cool.
so.
So I can't wait to do it.
I hope
The
so.
more I've seen about it and the more I've read about it, because originally I just mocked it mercilessly, but the more I've seen about it and the more I've read about it, I'm actually cautiously optimistic that it might be a very nice addition to EPCOT.
Yes.
It is definitely holds from what I've seen, and I know somebody who went. I talked to somebody who went on one of the cast previews. It's supposed to be very like vintage EPCOT-y in terms of
Yes.
like storyline.
Edutainment.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And there is
And
going to be
there'll
a meet and greet
Moana
in there, which
Yeah,
will
Not
be
Hey,
good.
in
speaking
the
of
attraction,
meet and
but
greets.
near the attraction, and clearly that's what they should have done all along.
There's
Yes.
what it looks like a little bit. So
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
I
it looks really cool. The walls are down now, so you can actually see it when you go through it. It is really neat looking. Again, just really great landscaping. I mean, they do the best hardscaping. It looks so fantastic.
they should get into that business.
That festival center, though,
Bring Disney to
that-
you.
Yeah, bring that picture back up that you had, Joe.
Hold on, I'm getting there. All
Okay,
right,
okay.
hold on. It takes a second.
directing from the anchor's chair, as they say. In
I
the
know,
news business.
Sam. You could have brought that up. Hold on, I'm getting there. All right, here we go. Takes a little bit to switch it around here. on
Okay,
the,
so
the whole
that
thing. Okay,
Purple Festival Center.
Communicore
Communicore
Hall and
Hall.
Communicore Plaza, two things, right?
right.
So,
This thing.
I feel like it's the other side of the building.
No,
is-
so the building is Communicore Hall. The
Which is
little U
inside.
shape to the left of it, that's
Right
Communicore
here.
Plaza.
yeah.
and that
Right.
and it's like an outdoor stage or
Yes,
something.
that's basically replacing Fountain View Stage. That's what it
Okay.
is. It's your entertainment and whatever festival is happening. That's what they're doing.
And is that a larger capacity, you think, than the American theater? Like, will they be moving Eat to the Beat and stuff like
That's
that?
a great question, and I've not been able to find the answer to it. And I've even asked.
I can't see that happening.
No, I agree with you.
I don't
John.
think so.
I don't
You've got
think
such a great venue, and plus, if you're dining and stuff like that back in the World Showcase area, I can't imagine
you want
that
to
happening.
because remember a lot of people do the
It's a
dining
focal
package
point,
for those
too.
shows, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you pay and
And
then you
look,
eat and then you go.
yeah,
to
that's
let's
not
let's
good.
be honest. America is the focal point of World Showcase.
Wah,
and
wah, wah, wah.
It's
Sorry,
exclusive to all
Canada.
nations.
You got to walk
Sorry.
through Canada to get there.
Sorry. And no.
Sorry.
So I mean, I could see this, like
No,
small bands, seasonal
It's
performers,
the Fountain View
things
stage.
like
Anything
that.
you put
Yeah.
there.
yeah,
Exactly.
so
You
like
get the,
you
you
know,
get the,
like,
the art for Festival of Arts. You get those artists that do the Mickey Mouse
Yeah,
while they're
right.
dancing. That's where
Now,
they're going to do it. There.
in-
your kids like cheer team will go perform.
By the way, we keep talking about this, but this area, the World Celebration Neighborhood at EPCOT, will start welcoming guests in December of 2023. So we got a firm date on that.
Well,
too.
we got a date other than 2023, December.
now,
It's
in
December.
the very center
keep
of
zooming,
the
keep zooming in,
picture,
John, and look for the statue. Sorry.
Okay.
Keep talking.
that in
Okay.
that very center, it looks like a fountain or a garden or something in there. Is that the spot that is going to have
I think
Walt?
that's where the
wall.
statue
It's
goes.
the
Yeah.
logo, isn't it?
I
Like
think
the
it's
EPCOT
this.
logo?
Statue's up further, like right behind Spaceship Earth.
Yeah,
right?
like you can't see it.
You
Go
can't
down
see
to
it.
the bottom left corner,
I
like
think it's
there
down
where
there,
your
right where your
hand
cursor
is.
is. I think it's right there, down in there.
Right there.
Yeah.
somewhere.
But in that center thing, they've been showing pictures of this symbol. See my tattoo? They've
Yeah.
been
Where did
showing
Ian
pictures
go?
of that
It's in the middle.
in the center. So I don't know if it's a garden or a fountain or
It
something.
is. It's a garden with fountains. This is supposed to be where you remember the good old LEDs and the concrete. Like the next generation of that stuff is going to be in that entire
Okay.
area that you're showing. All of that's going to flow together, and you're going to be able to see from Connections Cafe on the left-hand side all the way through this garden over to the plaza, wide open area.
Okay.
Now,
I
the other thing
cannot
that they
wait.
talked about, and I love this, John, and I'll finish in a second. If you zoom back out a little bit, when you're coming into EPCOT and you sort of flow around Spaceship Earth,
Right.
one of the big things they talked about was relieving the crowds around World Showcase during festivals. And one of the ways they want to do that is pulling the festival into the front of the park and starting it as soon as you get past Spaceship Earth.
Okay.
So that's where your festival is going to come up here, because they said point blank during the EPCOT panel, by the way, nobody likes it when it's super crowded walking around World Showcase.
No,
so we're going to
no.
fix it by taking booths up into the front to get people
So
out
you're
of World
thinking down in this area,
down,
like
all
starting
of that is
all
going
in
to
through
be new
here.
There.
areas where they can pull people out of World Showcase, the
Or
festival
up in
booths, and
there
festival
to
center.
like
all of that.
east and west where your cursor is.
I mean, yeah.
They could put booths.
I mean, that's a
all in
great
there.
idea.
Okay.
And then think about the test track area, right where the fry basket's been,
Can
all
I
that
ask-
kind of stuff. That is all
what-
about getting people out of World Showcase.
Right,
Yeah,
what are
that's
what are
clearly
these
like
cement buildings?
Now go around the
that's
country.
clearly
John.
like
Can you
a
check
lazy. That's a lazy.
Is that a
graphic
lazy
artist.
rendering or what
Yeah.
is
What
that?
are those
What are
barges
these?
in the middle out there?
No, that's the.
No, I'm talking
that's
about
the
these
little.
things.
Those are the shops.
That's the Duffy
John.
store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's That's
Wow.
not
Yeah,
what that
that's
was.
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at the countries
Somebody
in the
just got
lagoon now that
lazy.
you zoomed in there, man.
All
Go
right.
back up there again. So that
That's
island's
Italy.
still there. There's Italy.
That's
There's
Italy.
America. Right in the center.
That's Merca. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right in the center. That's your
don't-
new fireworks show, dude.
yeah, exactly. Which, by the way, also is coming December. Did I see that?
Luminous.
That is
Yes,
coming
yeah.
December 5th, right?
Yeah, which is luminous.
Luminous.
As long as that it's not luminous.
Well, wasn't there more to the title than that?
No,
The
it's
Symphony
Luminous.
of
Yes.
Us.
Luminous,
it's
the
Symphony of
symphony
the story
of
of the
us.
symphony of
I
us.
can't even
That's
say
yeah.
it.
they just
Yeah.
really
So
wanted
it is-
another us word.
Well, no.
Yeah.
So take
Harmonious?
Harmony Us and Illuminations, smash them together, and that's what you get.
Right.
Smash 'em
Symphony of Us.
together.
Right. There you go.
That is
Luminous.
Illuminations, Reflections of Earth, and Harmony Us pushed together,
That's funny.
keeping the
Sam.
best of the old one, the Symphony of Us.
That is. And that debuts on December 5th, 2023.
Yeah.
And
There
there
you go.
are no barges in the lagoon anymore. But
No.
if you saw some of the concept art, which I don't think they shared, John, in the pictures that you're going through,
No,
the concept art looked like Harmonious without barges. It did.
that's what I heard.
As long as it doesn't have giant tacos out in the middle of the lagoon,
They're
I'm all
gone.
for it.
They're gone.
Yeah, they carved them up and
I'm gonna
They
see-
got rid of the
John, take that
Stargate.
down. I'm
and
going to see if I can find concept art.
Yeah,
Um,
okay. Right.
While
Sounds
we're
good.
while we're
wait,
looking,
concept
Go
art,
ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
I actually just saw this story a few minutes ago, and it's worth mentioning. So today was the start of the Figment meet and greet at EPCOT, and he built
It's like I
built
was
himself-
planning on
Oh,
going there.
man.
he built himself quite a following. The line was already over 5 hours.
He won the day, is
And
what he
they-
did. He had the longest line in Epcot.
They had to close the queue off early because the demand
So-
to meet Figment was just so great.
Can we address the elephant in the room? And
I
literally,
mean, it goes
the
back to what I was
elephant
saying
in the
earlier.
room?
Go right ahead. Yes,
Yeah,
they show
Yeah,
us
that- you mean the
Figment
one
in a
that looks-
meet and
the
greet,
elephant
but
that looks
the
like
ride,
Figment?
but the
he's like 7 feet tall.
oh yeah, well that's the other problem. Yeah,
And he's a small figment of your imagination.
Right.
He's only when he used to appear
One
with
little spark.
Dreamfinder.
okay,
Two
if I
tiny
was
wings.
PR, if I was the PR for Disney, I would say,
Right.
but
Here we
he's
go.
large because he's supposed to make you feel like when you were a child.
Or
You're the same size as him.
how about he grew up?
this just did.
Now he's a full size dragon, not a baby dragon like
Or
was.
he went through, as somebody said, the reverse
Yeah,
process
the
of the
reverse-
Honey
Honey, I
Shrunk
Shrunk the
the Audience with Wayne
That was my
Zelinsky
joke.
or whatever his name was. What was his
Professor Wayne
name?
Zelinsky.
Yeah,
you-
Wayne Zelinsky, right.
You
And
know
he
what
went
was weird
reverse
too
process.
today though? Is
Yeah.
he had a 5-hour line to get pictures with him. All the other rides in Epcot, because like I say, I was looking at the wait times.
Yep.
All the other rides like 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
It was like Journey into Imagination was like over half an hour long.
Which begs the point. Figment is so dang popular.
right. Why is this attraction
Fix
so
that
terrible?
ride. Fix
I
the
know.
ride.
Like if you're gonna spend money in Epcot, could you please
Like, give
do
us a
something
great
with that
Figment ride.
disaster of an attraction?
They're hoping
Forget it.
Kodak comes back.
Oh God. I mean, that is so bad. Every time I go in there, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go on Figment. I haven't been on it in a while. Like, I love Figment. I'm going on. And then I'm halfway through the ride and I'm like, this ride is terrible. Get me out.
Andrew says 20 years in the same attraction. So obviously, his father and son are on the same page. They'll do everything with Figment except actually updating the ride.
Yeah.
By the way, they did announce new Figment gear.
Yeah,
We
of
had the
course they
Figment
did.
popcorn bucket. We had Figment this, Figment that.
How about a
won't.
real Figment ride? That would be
And
great.
yeah, I know. And Greg brings up another great point that it was a 5-hour wait
Yeah,
for
right.
influencers to get images. He'll go tomorrow and there'll be a 20-minute wait. That's probably true.
Yeah.
Send us the
that's right.
picture, Greg.
Greg
We'd
must be my
appreciate it.
neighbor. He seems like he's a local.
Greg's a good
He's
guy.
Talking
We like
about
Greg.
going to the parks. Yeah, my wife and kids were in Magic Kingdom today, and it was dead. Like the wait times were like, 10 minutes for Space
Yes.
Mountain, and it was quiet. It's that early September
Yeah.
slow period.
September morn.
Yes,
Yeah,
little
yeah.
Neil Diamond classic, John.
Little Neil Diamond.
My video is so laggy that it's really making me just miserable. I don't.
Sam,
know.
you've
It just-
muted your
it's okay.
microphone, Sam.
We hear you great. But
I'm
Sam, we can't
I
hear
turned my
you.
video off. I'm too
Unmute. Oh, he's
Oh.
fixing something.
plug and unplug, Sam.
Yeah, same with you, Ian.
Ian's video's gone.
I turned my video. It's so laggy. It's driving me crazy. I can't.
Oh.
I can't.
Well,
pay
I'm going to
attention.
remove you
It's
from
like,
the
I'm
stage
like-
if you do that.
I'm like 10 seconds behind. Oh no, then I could go to bed. How terrible that would be.
It's now-
Wait, you're not going
No.
to pay me for the rest of the show, though, are you?
So this picture is supposed to be of Luminous.
right.
And look at it. Looks like a heart explosion of fireworks. Isn't that
Mhm.
beautiful? I feel so illuminated. Like
It
it's
does.
illumination,
You feel so
luminous, harmonious. And there's lots of flying things coming at me from the water. Isn't this beautiful?
It does look pretty.
If they're gonna jam IP down our throats, please just have the original singers of the songs.
Well, I heard this
Sam
show.
fixed his mic.
All right, I got it.
I heard this show might
Jeez.
actually have original music, though. Somebody was.
Well, that would
Saying
be
somewhere,
wonderful.
like-
The thing I hated about Harmonious is it was like not the voices of the characters singing the
Right,
song, and
and
then
it
they would
wasn't the
sing them
real
in their
songs,
own,
and they were in a different language.
and then so
Yeah,
I can't sing along, and I like to
Right,
belt
and
it
that's what
out.
everybody loves. So
Yeah.
here's a question I have. The concept art looks great. Lots of fireworks. It looks like I don't see projection screens. I see lots of fireworks.
right.
Is that I'm assuming it's Spaceship Earth behind it, and
Yes, yeah.
Correct.
based on the landscape back there, I think it's just a make believe image. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I would
That's
have to
not.
agree. Because if you'll notice, there are giant mountains in the background, and
Yeah, I
Florida's
thought maybe
not
it was.
No, that's
not really known
Mount
imagination.
Fuji.
for its mountains.
That's imagination. Then to the left is the land, and on the very far right is the Mexico pavilion.
Mexico. Yeah, so I think they're representative of kind
So
of
maybe it is. I don't know. Either way, it looks good. There's no screens. Lots of
I'm
fireworks.
okay with
I
that,
can't
quite
wait to see it.
frankly. Give me a lot of fireworks. I'm okay with that.
That's what I want.
I mean, seriously.
I just want
don't-
fireworks.
I-
Nothing has ever been better than the holiday ending of Illuminations. When the
When they-
fireworks were just so like
Walter Cronkite.
It shook the bridge when you were standing on it.
Do you
Like, it was
remember
You're talking
the
Walter
old-
Cronkite, right?
Yeah, of course.
That ending. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you remember the old? I don't even know if it was called Illuminations back then, but it was like every country would have a little segment, and that country would light up with lights, and then it would like
Yes.
shoot lasers out, and then at the end, all the countries are lit
Lasers.
up. I liked that.
That was the original Illuminations, wasn't it?
I think
Before
so.
Reflections of Earth.
Yes, I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah.
And they were all lit up in like the strings of white Christmas lights, the way
Yes.
they do like
Yeah.
around all the
It
buildings.
would go around and it would reference each one.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
liked that.
Yes.
What else is
remember.
going on at Epcot?
Epcot? I don't know. Is there anything else? I thought we covered
I
everything
feel like we covered
I
everything.
think we covered it all. Yeah.
as far as Epcot goes.
How about all the Hollywood Studios announcements?
Oh,
Get your wah
Ahsoka.
wah button, John. Come on.
John, where's the sound?
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. Sorry.
The only
Slow
announcement
on the draw there.
The only announcement is they're adding Ahsoka into the Star Tours.
Into
videos,
Star Tours, yeah. That's cool.
which they change frequently and
I'll
stuff. So
take it.
that's cool. Yeah, that's fine.
You know, I like the fact that they actually changed that ride. Like they usually say, like we're
Yes.
going to change this ride, and then they
No.
never do. But Star Tours, they've actually updated.
Greg did point
Oh
out.
yeah, Soren.
Oh, yeah,
we
we
forgot, that
about
one.
that.
Oh, yeah,
A
yeah, yeah.
limited
Thanks,
time
Greg.
engagement. Like, what did they used to call that? The
Soren-
special magic.
They call it
limited
a
time
overlay.
magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Limited time
Limited
magic.
time magic. It's an overlay.
Mhm.
It's cool to get the original back. I still love the original. It's the best.
Yeah, the original's way better.
They
you
better
don't
load
have
up
that-
on the orange spray.
You don't have a bendy Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
that
look
way.
at the Eiffel Tower.
Well, you
kid.
also have real video footage, no video game garbage inside of it. And
Yeah,
Right.
I actually
I
had
could
some
go
guy
on and on
arguing
about
with me
Soren
on
and how much I
Facebook
don't like it
yesterday
today.
that there was no CGI in the new film. I'm like, dude,
Oh,
like
goodness.
90% of it is just all CGI. Like you're just
When they're
completely
around the
wrong.
Taj Mahal, the people
Come
walk
on,
like
seriously.
Taj Mahal was 100% computer
Yeah,
generated.
it's all CGI.
because they
Absolutely.
couldn't get approval to fly over it. Now
Correct.
compare that to the water scene in the original Soren, where
Yep.
the white boat in the front of it is actually a Coast Guard boat that was watching what they were doing, making sure they weren't impacting wildlife.
Right.
That was cool, and that was a real Imagineering, not this. Oh, let's come up with a video screen.
Agreed. And they
let's
had to
make
use
all these guys rowing these canoes that look like Madden football audience because they all
Yeah,
look the
it's
exact same.
it's like watching a video game half the time. And more importantly, forget all about that. More importantly, they clearly did no testing on this thing because all of the buildings bend sideways, which is just embarrassing. It's ridiculous show. Like I couldn't believe it the first time I went on there. I'm like, they actually like put this show live looking like this. It's just awful. It is so awful.
Well, when you create computer animation on a flat screen and it gets projected to a
Yeah.
concave
So
Onto a
nobody
curved screen.
nobody thought like,
Yeah.
hey, let's test this out on the
curved
actual
IMAX
screen
huge
before
screen.
we put
Yeah.
because this was replacing an existing attraction. It's not like they had to rush it in. They could have gone, ooh, this didn't work at all. Like, we need to rework this. Nope, we'll just throw it in there
Carolyn's about to
with
do
the,
a spit take.
with the
Now,
crooked
Ian,
Eiffel
you and
Tower.
I could go forever on this because I want to compare that
Forget
to
it,
Star
he's
Tours.
rolling.
Because what Soren should have done is
Yeah.
had about 30 different places you go to
Right.
and
And
randomly
then just
select 5 or
change it
6
around.
of them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, you are 100% right. on
Start
that.
like
we
a Star
actually
Tours.
talked about that on a previous
Just like
episode.
Star Tours,
That
yes.
it should be interchangeable and no two rides should be the same.
And by the way,
Right.
the Star Tours stuff, Disneyland gets Ahsoka Tano, and Disneyland gets Hera Syndulla and Chopper to walk around Galaxy's Edge.
There we go.
Disney World doesn't, but we are getting an update with that Ahsoka series. Now, they didn't exactly say Ahsoka, but it could be Mandalorian, Ahsoka, all of these new Disney Plus shows and these new characters. Awesome to see them getting into Star Tours.
Now there were
Yeah.
a couple other.
I heard they had to shut down the Mandalorian Grogu meet and greet because it was like too
Crazy.
nutty. Did anybody else see that?
That doesn't
They
surprise
changed
me.
it. You're talking in Disneyland, they changed it.
No,
And they
no.
also
in the
did at
studios
Walt
here.
Disney World, and Greg's going to comment in a second here because we've talked about this. It used to be everybody would just jam around him.
Should've just
Now
had
you're
Greg
sort of
on.
lined up away from Mandalorian. and
Oh,
he
okay. So they
decides
just
who
changed
comes
the
and
way that
talks
they
to
did
him.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
So he picks somebody out of the crowd and says, "Come here, and we'll take some pictures." And then you go back, and then somebody else comes over. So they've got some control over it. But man, that was a mess when it first happened, especially at Disney
I
World.
bet.
There were people, all you saw was a helmet in the middle and just a crowd of people walking. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Who thought that was a good idea?
Now Andrew just brought up something. We will just touch on this quickly because we will be here all night if we do this.
Right.
They did announce a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff for around the world. So
Yeah.
at Disneyland, one that pops out is they're going to come up with a new ride in Avengers Campus
Yes.
that takes a combination of like Tony Stark stuff and Wakandan technology and whatever. They're
So
gonna have
we heard
jump
about that at
points.
last expo, right? And this, we saw the ride vehicle finally. It's the
Yes.
whole, and this is interesting because you can tie Marvel and Star Wars together. What Marvel's doing is creating this attraction that goes through the universe, through the multiverse, which means they can pull characters from just about anywhere and explain why they're all together, which Star Wars is trying to figure out. And I think they can figure it out via some Rebels technology that I don't want to talk about because if you're watching Ahsoka, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But there is a way to transport people before dimensions. But we saw that. That's a concept art. That's cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's cool. We also got a little sneak peek of is it Tokyo? The Frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Utopia in Tokyo. isn't it?
Fantasy, the new fantasy. I forget what it's called.
You're
I
talking
saw all
about
this
the Frozen
Utopia
land
Yes.
stuff.
right here.
Oh, I didn't see this. I
World
missed
of
this.
Frozen or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Then there's another one. The fantasy. Oh man, I lost all my stuff I was looking at.
Yeah, and I've got Disney World
We were
specific
so
stuff on my
focused on
cheat sheet. You know,
cranking
so
about
yeah, I know.
Florida.
I know that we didn't. He's right, though. I mean, some of this, the Frozen land looks amazing.
It does.
Well, that's
Oh,
because it's
Andrew
in
says
Tokyo.
Hong Kong Disneyland Frozen Land.
There you go.
Yeah.
See,
But which one is getting this Zootopia one? Is that Tokyo getting Zootopia?
Shanghai.
Yes.
Shanghai. Okay.
Shanghai.
Is getting... Okay.
We saw
You'd
new
find
think
concept
we
out.
art
would
of that.
know.
Yeah,
You'd
the
think we'd
Tokyo
be up
parks
on that.
always get great stuff because they're not really run by Disney and they don't have to bear the burden of Disney's failure.
Yeah, I don't think I have the Zootopia land, do I?
You got it there somewhere. If you had. The
Oh, I
same
do.
pictures
Hold
did.
on. Yeah,
You got a bunch.
I got everything. I swear here. I think this is.
Let's just do a quick fly through all
I
the
think
pictures.
that is right.
Yeah, there's a little land. There's a
By the
polar
way,
bear,
again,
the mayor.
you know, sorry, some of this stuff is very visual on this episode, but yeah,
It's
exactly.
like it's a little Zootopia land. Star
Yeah.
Tours, new adventures coming in 2024. So that
Yep.
would be the
we
Ahsoka
got
thing.
that.
Now- When
That's
did
Zootopia
they
back
start?
You just went past it.
When did they start construction of
What
the
is this
Zootopia
one, though?
land? Anybody know?
That's
This
Frozen.
Frozen
That
land?
looks like Arendelle. Yeah, that's Arendelle.
That's very cool looking, though. Okay.
There's a roller coaster
That is
on
a
the
sneak
right
peek at the
side.
world's first
Yeah, I know.
Frozen themed land debuting at Hong Kong Disneyland in November.
And there's Josh and Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog, which by
It
the
was
way,
kind of cool. They did it like a Muppet show. And
Yeah,
look, I
but they
wanted
had-
Muppet announcements.
no
had-
announcements
Yeah,
for
they
Muppets.
they had
Nothing.
all this Muppet stuff, and then
Nippy.
but we're not going to talk about Muppets. We're just going to have the
Still
Muppets on
no
our
Muppet
announcement.
IP.
Yeah.
Now they also during that Josh's presentation,
Okay.
they started with Hercules. They started with 3 songs from Hercules. I thought for sure there's some announcement coming. Nothing.
Yeah.
They are just kind of throwing things out there to throw people off the scent.
So just
Hey,
for
pull that
context, they
concept
announced
art back up, John.
they
I wanna
announced
point
the
this out.
Zootopia stuff in
What's that?
January of 2019. So that means that it
Well, there you go.
hasn't opened
That's,
quite yet.
This, I guess, is showing where Arendelle fits into.
No,
Yeah.
that's different.
No, what is this one?
And I'm missing it.
Because it looks like that.
Yeah,
looks like,
that's Arendelle. Back there is Rapunzel. That's Pirates.
right
That is Fantasy Springs in Tokyo Disneyland.
there. You go.
It's the
Which is
8th land in Tokyo Disney Sea. It features Rapunzel's Forest, which is a new attraction,
you, Sam.
Peter Pan's Neverland, and Frozen Kingdom. That's a brand new land in Tokyo.
Yep, Tokyo Disney Sea Fantasy.
That's
Springs.
awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Incredible. If you go
That-
back to that Hong Kong image, there's one little piece that's
Oh,
out
gosh.
of sight there that looks super cool.
Well, no.
No, this is good.
Figure
We'll
out
see
which
if we
way to
missed
go
anything.
here.
We'll see if we missed anything. That's Zootopia.
Got it. Hold on. We've
That's
got
Josh. There, right there. Look at the right-hand side. See that
It's a
roller
roller
coaster?
coaster.
like that. Looks
That
like
is
Thunder
Wandering
Mountain.
Oakens, whatever.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
Sort of
Right, I
like
remember reading about
their mine train-ish.
Yeah,
thing.
sort of.
But
Yeah.
that was just cool to see.
Oh, it's got waterfalls and everything. It'd be like
Ooh, it's got
a
waterfalls.
Matterhorn.
So that again is Hong Kong.
Yeah. Love the waterfront.
And I
motif.
bet that whole mountain back there is a show building. You probably enter the
probably
ride
right.
through that castle on the right there and go
Yep.
into the mountain.
Let it go.
Cool.
Let it go.
Mm-hmm. Very
Now
nice.
Let Big Al sing that.
That's right. Is there anything we've missed? I'm thinking. at
You
this
missed the
point.
new island that they talked about. You missed the Disney Adventure.
Oh
cruise
yeah,
ship.
yeah.
You
Real
missed,
quickly. Hold on. Touch
you
on
got
that.
pigeonholed and talked about a bunch of stuff that didn't.
Yeah,
matter.
I know, but we don't have. This is not an unlimited podcast, so
That's fine.
otherwise we'd have to charge for it.
We
Like
got the princess from the new movie.
This
That's the new
looks good.
island,
yeah,
which we got a name for that island, and I'm blanking on it. Disney's Lookout Key at
Key.
Lighthouse Point.
Key,
So it's instead of
the other island.
In addition
Castaway.
to,
it's in
Castaway
addition to
Key.
Castaway Key.
in
Yeah.
addition
Yeah.
to, not
Yeah.
instead of, in
Right.
addition to.
Yes,
Well, they have too many cruise ships to only go to one island anymore.
this is true.
This is true, and they got ships that are really big.
Yep.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, and
Speaking
getting
of which,
bigger all the time. By the way.
yeah, they
That
announced.
Disney Adventure sort of came out of nowhere because we had the Disney Treasure. The 6th cruise ship in that
Well,
big line, and we know
That's
ordered
because
another
they were
one.
able to buy that German mega
That's exactly
ship
what
that
it is.
just sat
And this-
there. It was unplanned. It just
So this
Yeah.
is the ship that was being built as the biggest ship in the world,
yeah.
and
then
the company went out of business during the pandemic, and Disney jumped in and bought it, and we
they
finally
got it
a
on
name for it.
sale.
Right.
Yes,
It was
they
on
did
sale.
get it
yeah.
on sale
Disney Adventure, and this is it's going to be interesting
for
to
the
see how
low
this one
price.
goes.
Exactly. It should be interesting, though. Yeah.
Looks nice.
I mean, they're in the mega ship business now.
Well, they're also in a different market. They're not building this to go out of Port Canaveral like the Wish
No.
and the Treasure. This is being built from a different market, and I'm going to be interesting to see the properties that they pull into this. And it's
Right.
going to be interesting if they do things that part of the world expects to be on cruise ships, like
Right.
casinos that
Right.
don't happen on Disney ships, but might happen on this one. It'll
But
be
the other
interesting to
thing,
watch.
the other thing too, is that they're entering a different segment with the size of this ship that
Yes.
they haven't been in the past. And
Yep.
that Carnival and Royal are definitely players in. I
would
I
agree.
was on the Carnival Mardi Gras, and Royal's got their new ship that's coming online that's crazy big, and now they're going to have a crazy big ship. So it be interesting to see after this debuts how successful it is, and if they go that route moving forward, then much as the other lines seem to be going. They seem to be going big.
Yeah.
So,
Bigger.
go big.
I
or
think
go
that's
home.
everything. Those are the only two things I saw there. What else we missed? We missed no announcements for Hollywood Studios. No,
Besides
we didn't.
the Ahsoka thing, yeah, that's it.
I think that's it.
There is a new princess. Well, they're new, not to be confused with the Wish ship. There is a Wish movie that's coming up, Disney Animation, and that princess is going to end up in, I'm assuming, Magic Kingdom, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
that was the other thing.
Ian, did you nod off? Your head's tipped down like you've fallen asleep.
No. Sorry, I was looking at something on my iPad. I was still trying to figure out where that stupid Animal Kingdom building was. I can't find it, and it's really bothering me.
Which
I
Animal
Google Earth
Kingdom?
up
Bit? Which
He's
one?
still trying to
Going
make
all the way
sure-
back to the beginning of the show.
Are you
I
serious?
think that is the biggest thing we learned.
Oh, you mean the show building or
Yeah,
the
what is
big
it?
thing
I was trying to
behind where
orient the
food
map
court
in the
is?
same way as that drawing, and I just couldn't do it. I still
So-
can't do it.
Send your copy.
I was gonna have like an epiphany moment where we found it, but
Like,
I can't figure it out.
Ian, just
Yeah.
bring up the map on the Disney app of Animal Kingdom.
But I think he's trying to figure out.
You
if
gotta go
there's
Google
the
Earth.
existing building that's that big
Yeah,
behind
you can't.
it.
You need to be able to rotate it. That's the problem because the
That's
orientation
the
is
problem
different,
that
so-
Disney purposefully gave you. So you
Yeah,
can't.
well, they did a
figure
great
that
job
out.
at it because I cannot figure out where the heck it is.
Have we
It's
given
I mean, in
up?
Upside
fairness, it's
down.
only concept art. It's probably not,
You come up
architecturally
the
sound.
bridge, come up
We'll
the
come up,
bridge, up,
then
and
we'll
that's
go over
that's
here.
where Indiana would be, and over here is the
I remember the
Restaurantosaurus.
show.
All right, I think this is
Yeah, we've officially bottomed
the
out.
ending of the show is calling. Yeah. Ian
It was
can't
fun.
find
Thanks, guys.
where we're located. Yes, thank you, Sam from Sam's Disney Diary. Go check him out. Go ahead, plug.
SamSinsDiary.com and YouTube. Lots of
Yeah,
cool
there
stuff
you go.
out there.
All right.
Including the Country Bears Jamboree, and I look back at the history of that. It's a video I did a long time ago. You know,
Oh,
how
okay.
it all started and how it ended up at Magic Kingdom, and the fact that it was in Disneyland, and now it's not. All kind of cool stuff around Country Bears, which we're getting a big update
Hey,
for.
2 quick questions from Amanda, real fast, that we'll answer. Are Disney cruise ships less crowded than other cruise ships? No, they are not.
Nope.
They're just as crowded. And which ship is the smallest? There's 2.
Is
The
it the
original
Dream?
2 are actually no. The original 2, the Wonder and the
Wonder.
Magic.
And the Magic. Yeah, yeah.
the
yeah,
Magic
that's
and
right.
Wonder are actually very small by cruise ship standards.
They're
But
both in
they're
Alaska
nice.
right now.
They're comfortable.
They're in Alaska,
And-
selling
yeah,
out of
they're-
Vancouver.
Yes.
They're good to go on. There is something to be said for small ship cruising or smaller. They're not, when they say small, there's still about like 2,500,
Yeah, I
3,000
mean, they're-
people
Well,
on.
look,
there.
there was a panel, 25 years of Disney Cruise Lines, and they
Yeah.
talked about all of the enhancements that have happened on those first
Yeah.
two ships going to
Yeah.
dry dock and the things that they've gotten, and that if you sailed on those ships 25 years ago, it's not the same ship today because they've changed the slides, they've changed the technology. Animator's
But-
palette is completely
Yeah.
different than it originally was, so that stuff's constantly changing.
You don't get lost on those ships quite as much
Which you
as you do on
should,
the
because
new.
you're
Yeah.
going on them 3 days or so.
And
3
you
or 4
don't-
days.
And you don't have like a marathon walk to get to the elevator like you do.
Absolutely true.
I can use
So, yeah.
steps on a cruise ship.
Hey, speaking of cruise ships and the like, if you're looking for a Disney vacation or vacation otherwise, talk to the folks at Magical Journeys. Nancy and crew will be glad to help you out planning your next Disney vacation. They are the best. Check them out. And also check us out if you haven't already and follow along. We need more followers. We need more followers.
Hey, we need more followers. Just jam some IP in there, John. We'll get more
Yes,
followers.
at INTERCOT on all the socials. For everybody, I am still John. For Ian, Carolyn, and Sam, we'll see you next time. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Gongaloosh,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.